and welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Movie Night Autopsy, the place where we do all of the films celebrating all the cultural talking abouts. And my name is Sam.
I'm Chad.
I'm Asher.
I'm Grace.
And we are back at the table just celebrating art and the hard work that goes into making it.
Real craftsmanship at its finest.
And the friendship to come around and enjoy the art that was created.
You know, it's art that's so, introspective and reflective that you think.
You start to question how much of it the filmmakers got from your own lives. Because that's when, it's good art. It's when it affects you personally.
You see yourself in the characters.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to bury the lead. I'm super glad we're finally talking about a video game. I've been waiting to do this for a while. This is a great series, great fighting series. A little clunky by today's standards, but, I figured we'd start in the beginning. Mortal Kombat 2 for the Genesis.
Hey, Asher.
Asher.
You should tell them.
I mean, we're talking about Mortal Kombat 2 for the Genesis, right? I mean, there's so many great games in the series. We could go
Asher.
arcade the first one.
Asher.
You know why we're here.
That's not what we're doing.
You know why we're here.
We don't have to do this, guys.
We have to. John's already set up all the equipment.
We could just sit here and talk about.
No, we can't.
Oh,
We have to follow the rules.
Asher, everybody. Have we all calmed down for Mortal Kombat, the movie?
So I guess I
don't think so.
It's just
no one saw, but there was a little bit of electricity that sparked out of Sam's fingertip when he said that. So
I know if I had just done that at the beginning of the situation for literally every situation that I find myself in, this movie would have been a lot shorter, by the way. By the way.
So we're talking about Mortal Kombat and
The movie.
And
because, of course, this happened. Of course it did. This movie came out in 1995. It was in the height of Mortal Kombat popularity. The first two games had been released. It was a massive cultural sensation.
over multiple platforms, right?
Over multiple platforms. There was even a version of the original Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo.
Wow.
But blood-free.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
you had to have the Genesis to get the blood.
Get the blood.
Real men play the Genesis.
Real men played Sega Genesis.
Genesis does what Nintendo don't. Am I right, fellas?
That was the ad campaign.
Yeah, that
actually was it. Wow.
That was some
That's
serious
impressive.
shade being thrown.
I did have a Genesis at first.
I have a Genesis. Yeah, I did too.
That's what I started off with, and I had Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat 2 for it. I think I even got like 3 Ultimate for it. But later on down the line, I did pick up a SNES.
Yes.
A SNES.
It sounds like
SNES.
he's calling it like you're saying it backwards. Like yes.
Well, I got a SNES because I wanted to play like Super Mario World,
Yeah.
Give me all those amazing games that you can play on the
Turtles
SNES.
in Time.
Seriously, I
Turtles
love
in
the
Time.
Genesis, but the Super Nintendo is also good. Seriously, just have them
It's got
both.
more classics, but I mean, like, but
With today's technology, you can.
You can easily.
Yeah.
They both easily fit in a backpack.
yeah, it's pretty sweet.
But I remember Mortal Kombat at the
World
game
of
when it first
gaming.
came out being one of the first violent games I ever saw.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, I distinctly remember the 2 games that I saw that were violent. Mortal Kombat was the very first, and then somewhere around that same time, the first Resident Evil I saw, even though Mortal Kombat predates Resident Evil. But those are like the first 2 games I remember seeing that were actually violent and like, oh my gosh, I should make sure my parents don't know I'm playing this. Oh, we're ripping
I
people's
felt that way about
spines
Doom.
out. And
Like
Yeah, I
in
didn't
the
play
early
Doom back in the
90s, I
day.
felt that way about Doom. I mean, like the graphics in Doom were horrendous, but still, like it was still like this was 1992 or 93 we were talking about, so it was like people were quick to freak out about just about anything they could.
They were still blaming video games for basically every problem in the world at the time. Mm-hmm. Like kids are awful today, and all this extra violence, and it's obviously these video games, not the horrible world we created.
That's why there was, that's why Nintendo did take the blood out because they were like, well, we don't want to be associated with that. Yep. We gotta,
they were the family console. In Japan, it's called.
We gotta stay the early '90s version of PR
family computer.
Yeah.
Super Famicom for the Super Nintendo.
So this is the world where they said, let's make a movie of that. And this was the time of other comic book movies that we don't need to talk about.
I mean, a little bit.
you mean
like,
you mean video game movies, right?
What'd I say?
Comic book movies.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
It's Monday.
No,
I mean,
it's Monday.
it's-
It's all good.
Happy Monday.
Happy
I
Monday,
can do that
y'all.
again.
I mean, there were.
No, I think
there
I like
were
it.
the
I like it the way it is.
There were the Batman movies that were coming out and that were just tarnishing the reputation of.
Yeah, but I can-
of any
I can say that
comic book
again.
movie.
No, I really like it the way it is. So let's talk about video game
Sounds
movies.
like shit.
Yeah, it's endearing.
But what other video game movies were coming out around '95?
No, nothing.
We had the
We
street-
don't need to talk about it, Chad.
and then there was super.
Well, no, like what was there? Like seriously, what
What was it? Seriously,
There wasn't
Yeah.
anything.
You stop.
What, like Street Fighter?
Yeah, there was Street Fighter with Jean-Claude Van Damme. They actually got Van Damme,
and
who Johnny Cage is based on. Actually, that's the funny
and
thing.
Gomez Adams.
Raul Julia, his last film role, and he's like just going for it.
Just choose the scenery to
Yeah,
pieces.
But it's a video game
it's-
movie, so
I recall it being entertaining, but I have not seen the movie since I was like
It's-
11 or 12.
it's not.
And that was the only other video game movie
Hey,
out.
wait a
We
second.
don't.
Wasn't there
no,
like
no,
no, but there was the
Oh yeah, you're no.
there's the
You're thinking of
Super-
E.T., which had a video game made after it, but it was actually the movie that was first. That's what you're thinking
that
about.
must be what I'm thinking of.
Yeah,
I'm
that's definitely what you're thinking about.
not thinking about Super Mario
E.T.
Brothers.
the movie, not based on the video game. We got out of that one.
I'm coming straight for you, Asher. I'm coming straight for you.
So, Mortal Kombat was a movie designed to make money.
Yeah, it was meant to capitalize on a very successful game. And well, I don't know if
And then they did it. Let's just say it. Listen,
they did it.
They just did
They
it,
made
and
it.
then it exists, and that's it.
Directed by Paul Anderson and
It does a bunch of other B-rated violent
written
movies,
by
right?
Kevin Droney. Kevin Droney has done not a whole lot of note, a lot of TV stuff, you know, like Paul Anderson, as a matter of fact, has also directed a bunch of Resident Evil movies.
Wow, he's really. That's a genuine. This is a genuine reaction from Asher.
He did the
Yeah.
Resident Evil movies. Are you serious?
Now everything
Yeah.
makes sense, doesn't it?
He also did Alien vs Predator.
Which one? The
Are
first
you,
one? Are you serious?
serious?
He did. He did Death Race.
This is the
Okay,
troll of
little known Jason
filmmakers.
Statham.
Okay,
movie.
so some people fall upward, some people fall downward. This guy fell laterally. Just like on to the next one.
Exploring everything on
God,
his
this
horizon.
guy is like messing with us. I feel like he did all of these movies to mess with people like us, and it's working.
If only.
It's working. Anyhow, I'm sure it did. Did it make money? I'm sure it did. I feel like Mortal Kombat did. They made a sequel.
Yeah, I mean, it was,
did
we don't
make
have
a
to talk
sequel,
about-
and the sequel was atrocious. Just oh my god.
Because the first one
Like-
is a masterpiece.
As bad as the first one is, and we're gonna get into that. Like, the second one is just a whole different level of bad.
Well, it's a conflicted story, right? Because I'm going to ask the three of you. I was the newbie on this one. I'd never seen Mortal Kombat, much like Starship Troopers. I'd somehow missed this growing up in the 90s. Never caught it on the TV stations or anything. But I feel like all of you generally have good memories of it from your past, right? It's
I never
like
said that. I just didn't
yes,
speak
because
up.
it came out in
It's two different things.
It came out in '95, and I was a child, and I was just like, "Ooh, fight scenes and characters
Yeah,
I
okay,
recognize from the video game, and I get to watch an R-rated movie."
So-
Or no, it's PG-13. Never
So
mind.
like this was the so what started in like 89, 90 with like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles of just
Oh, yeah,
movies
right.
based around lazy martial arts stunts. And by lazy, I mean by today's standards. I still can't do it. I'm not going to act like I can. But like by fight scenes even from
yeah.
the 70s and 80s,
It looked
just
like
started
a TV
with,
movie.
Yeah, and it started with the Ninja Turtles. It continued with the Power Rangers, and then we get to stuff like Mortal Kombat, where it's just like there's these actors and filmmakers who could just get by doing slow motion fight scenes of not too of people like sparring, And Mortal Kombat fell into that genre a little bit, like just the kind of like when Lord Raiden takes out Liu Kang at the beginning of the movie, he just flips him and it's just in slow motion and you hear.
Oh yeah.
But all you do is flip him.
Well, he confronts Liu Kang. Oh man, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Okay,
I'm trying to skip to the end. That's why.
I'm kind of on Chad's team here.
We're getting ahead of ourselves. So like from the very beginning of this thing, like right whenever we can see something happen, and we see Shang Tsung standing next to Liu Kang's younger brother.
Mr. takes everything too seriously.
And the younger brother has showed up to confront Shang Tsung because he wants to help do his part to protect Earthrealm. And Shang Tsung easily takes him out because he's like a kid. He's like 16 or something like that.
By the way, I just have to interject. As an audience member who saw it for the first time, you knew none of this in the opening scene. You just see a kid fighting a dude who's clearly beating up a kid.
Yeah.
And you're like, why are we watching this?
A dude's just beating up a kid.
Dude's just beating up a kid. And he's just beating the crap out of him.
This is all exposition that we learn later.
Yeah. Also, yeah. So if you don't know anything, you're just like,
it's a dude beating up a kid.
And right away, it's like, oh, by the way, this movie had a $20 million budget and it made $120 million.
Oh. That's
in 1995.
Y'all don't know how to spend your money.
In 1995.
We should make a sequel.
From the very first shot, that one cost $30 million apparently.
We needed the next $10 million
to make that piece of shit.
Okay.
Well, from the very first shot, like you can see like the sky dancing around like with bad CG, and it's just like, oh god, right away with this.
Yeah.
But right away.
It's just bad mid-90s CG of like sped up clouds.
Oh, I mean,
it
like
looked so good back then.
Yeah.
Oh god, we were like, wow.
When I was 7,
that.
yeah, it looked awesome. It looked awesome to a 7-year-old. Congratulations. But so the old man finishes whipping up on the kid.
Still never explained.
Kills him.
And then like the kid is just like crying out like Lou, and it's just like he can't hear you.
You're there alone.
And then like Shang Tsung like points at the camera. He's like, your brother's soul is mine. And that's
you are next.
That's a thing to stop on right there. It's just the guy that plays Shang Tsung. Just, oh my god, the overacting present in this guy.
I like him. I think it's awesome.
I mean, it only makes sense in the context of the movie.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't like go to Chipotle and like
give me the burrito
wheat tortilla
and make it gluten free.
We can't get the wheat tortilla.
Just that is like that is
not how gluten works.
That is
make it so.
That is just it is Ricardo Montalban and Wrath of Khan level, like just over the top.
Yeah, it's fun.
Just he knows exactly what he's there for, and he's just
fun.
like, I'll give you what you want.
It's fantastic.
So Liu Kang wakes up.
It's a Liu Kang dream.
I'm sorry, that's
God.
Die. Sorry, that was good. He did a good die there. So Liu Kang wakes up from his fever dream.
In his swinging bachelor pad.
His 90s American
Yeah, it was like,
pad.
you know how people like to make apartments out of cement blocks back then? He lived in a cement block apartment. And it was very happening.
So Grace,
what do you think Marie Kondo would say about that room, though?
Well, I'd say there's not too much was like actually conflicting a little bit. He could tidy up the top dresser some, but the overall energy of it was lacking. Not cluttered, but lacking. I have not seen a single episode of the show. I'm guessing this is what she would say.
you watched it at like Aaron and Dana's place, right? Like we've all been there.
I think his accommodations were pretty
No?
Spartan. It wasn't like he didn't have a lot of things in there, so it's pretty Spartan. But I would say Marie Kondo would say to Liu Kang, she would come.
I would imagine she could detect the negative energy in the room.
She would bring
because he like Liu Kang seems like he's got like a lot on his mind, and that usually reflects in the apartment.
It's messy. It's messy in there.
Perhaps.
Although he does have a thing for his bike. A little bit of organization.
His bike. It's
Little
like
bit
a
of
one room that
organizing.
fits everything.
Yeah.
Does it turn out that the bike is Mortal Kombat?
You know what?
Like
you don't find out who Mortal
after all.
Kombat is until the sequel.
You know what, Sam? It turned out Akira was inside all of us the entire time. Whoa, okay. So you think the apartment was messy, right, Grace?
I think
so.
I think he could have used boxes
I was still
to
getting over the
organize.
scene from before to really pay too much attention.
Well, you obviously.
But that was like that was pretty crazy because he's like dealing with his brother's death, the guilt of that, and
Because he wasn't there.
And he promised after their parents died.
He would always take care of him.
Well,
Because-
we don't. But okay,
Did you say? Well, yeah. That's what older
all-
siblings do.
When their parents die,
mean
you
anything.
promise
Dude.
them you will take care of the other ones.
It
That's
doesn't
what
mean
every
anything.
sibling
I mean,
does.
it's just-
Sure, and like I would do the same. I'm sure we'd all do the same. But if our sibling then left to go and challenge the Emperor Sorcerer Shang Tsung in a battle of Mortal Kombat, I'd be like, I can't. Like, what do you want me to? You're kind of just like
You already decided what you were going to do.
You're poking the bear. You're poking the bear there, Junior.
I mean, like seriously, like if you're looking at me like I can't believe you weren't there, bro. Like,
Real dick move, not being in the country I live in.
so
when this happens.
What? You're fighting a wizard god who captures souls and traps them in his eyeball.
He's
like,
at
what do
least
you,
like a level 30, dude. Like you
what do you want
cannot
me to do about
I
that?
can't do that. I gotta grind a little bit.
Oh man,
All right.
teenagers
So,
are dumb.
how does Liu Kang get out of the U.S.? Because he's like in the apartment. That's
Oh,
a
he
big
just shows up
story
later.
arc. He just
Well,
he
he
just
gets
comes
there.
He
back.
had a bad dream and went home.
He gets there by camera.
how you
by
do.
camera wipe. He gets there by camera wipe.
Yeah, pretty. Yeah, you know.
It pans over and he's there now.
It's the same way foreshadowing that Johnny Cage leaves the place where he fights Scorpion. It's just that cinemagic.
And I do gotta say, like, because that's the first couple of sequences. Is it just introduces each character, like you get Liu Kang's like you get the basics. You don't get a whole lot about him, but you get that like that's his brother and that this is Liu Kang, and the movie's just kind of assuming that you know something about the video games going into it.
It does assume a little bit. Like you can't go into it fresh, but then again, who would? Like seriously,
I
Who
apparently
would?
did.
This is
well,
true.
we tricked you. That's why.
This is true.
Tricked your ass.
But that's the Liu Kang opening sequence. But then after that, like we see, what is it, Sonya Blade?
I think Sonya comes next.
Sonya's looking for eyeball buddy. What's his name?
Kano.
Kano. She's looking for Kano with
And
the
some
accent.
kind of like punk raver
Punk
bar.
with Jax goes in there to find him, and it's just like
And it's just them moving through a crowd with guns while
And-
techno music blares.
nobody stops to look at the gun. They all keep dancing.
And it's really, really
know.
dark, so you can't really make out what's going on.
Not really.
And you hear like thudding noises like as they're walking through the crowd, and it's just like, oh well, I guess action's happening.
Well, when Grace
Yeah.
and I watched this scene, we realized, man, this is a kind of an awkward scene to watch in 2019 because they go through the dance club and then eventually confront some gangsters, some ninja gangsters or something like that, and they take him down. She takes him down with a gun, and the people in the
And
dance party don't
she
even
like
notice.
shoots a guy through some glass.
But I
And
mean,
it's the
it's
world's
just
longest slow motion
it's just-
shot scene too. It's like 30 minutes of trying to shoot 2 bullets.
It's like
30 seconds.
It's like the people that made John Wick watch this scene and say, "This is what we don't want."
well, I mean, and yeah, it does take a long time to do, but it's also just like people walking through a dance club with like semi-automatic rifles in their hands these days is like very weird to
Yeah.
see because you're like, damn, that like shit has gone down recently and it's always been very bad and like we're just watching it in this movie and they're just kind of like shooting the guns and no civilian
And
really gets hit.
No one's reacting.
they don't
yeah.
stop
No one
dancing.
is
They keep
reacting
the party
to the
going.
fact
Yeah,
that,
this-
like,
this
that-
club is
that
intense.
There are SWAT team members moving through the crowd,
And it's
tracking down a criminal organization, and no one like reacts to it.
Wait,
That must
so
be
hold
some-
on, hold on. So Sorcerer Supreme Shang Tsung, while also trying to take over Earthrealm.
He's trying
And
to
or-
chill, son. He's trying to chill.
But he's also got like his boys, like his street gang, to like keep the
Well, yeah,
keep the
yeah.
fuzz away.
Yeah, he's got
He's got like his game on lock. Is that what's going on?
He's greasing Kano's palm on Earth so that
Okay.
so that he can make sure that he's got the right bag to get the job done. You dig?
Yeah. Yes, I can dig that.
So that's Sonya's introduction. Rave
Which is
club
not an
shootout.
introduction. Shooting somebody and then
Yeah.
get upset that the guy you wanted to shoot
Where's
wasn't there.
Kano?
She's just mad.
Where is he? Yeah, it's so bad. Oh man, the acting in this movie is just
Is phenomenal.
it's like it gives,
Groundbreaking.
It gives the room a run for its money.
I think it is a I think the acting in this movie is a take on the
high-rated.
actual state of performance
they do
art.
that on the boat later.
What'd you say?
so
Hold on, what'd you say?
I can't talk around these bits. I just can't.
Sorry. What were you saying, dude?
I don't know. It's gone now. It's totally gone.
So there's a star wipe to Johnny Cage just like walking up to a group of dudes surrounding a limousine, and everybody's wearing a suit, and Johnny Cage has his sunglasses on, and they all just like gradually start pulling out crazy ass looking weapons.
Each one is different than the next one.
And none of them are just a gun, which is the simple, elegant solution to this problem.
Which definitely would solve the problem the guys are having, whatever
have
it
they
is.
not seen like Predator 2 or Escape from New York? Just bring a gun, dude.
I know, man. They really need to like click the subscribe button on our podcast.
Click that
channel.
bell.
So he takes his sunglasses off. It says, "Well, let's dance."
Okay, let's dissect this. The name
It's a lot to unpack.
I really hope the name of the movie he's making. It's revealed that this is a fight scene from a movie, right? It's this intense fight scene, or the movie wants you to think it's an intense fight scene. You really are more or less waiting for it to end so the plot can pick that back up.
Well, yeah, they do the thing where like they come at them one at a time, like they would.
You know, like in street fights.
In a movie like the one we're watching.
That's Krav Maga 101. You wait your turn.
You know, like exactly what they do later on whenever they're fighting a big group of people who attack them one at a time so they can conveniently take them out one at a time.
Yeah.
Like movies do.
Like they do.
It's like you can't poke fun at what these kinds of movies do.
Would
and
you
then
do that?
Do what these kinds of movies do. And that's what this does.
Yeah.
But we do get that scene. You commented on it, like as it wraps up, because like there's the guy that he hits
fighting
several
and he hits the guy and he doesn't fall.
This is the part where you fall down,
and the guy goes "Bleh," and then like falls over and then you
like
cut
like a Canadian in Shakespeare. But
exactly, and then he moves on. You reveal you're on a set, and then the director said,
"Cut."
The director says,
swings over.
Set up again, and Johnny Cage is like, "I'm not doing it again." And they get into an argument about it.
Sandy Helberg apparently is the actor who plays the director.
It's funny because he's okay. Yeah, you're talking about how he looks like Steven Spielberg.
They dressed him up to look like Steven Spielberg.
Right before we hit the old record button, I got on IMDb trivia. And you know who's a big fan of the Mortal Kombat games, according to IMDb trivia, which I'm pretty sure anyone can put trivia on, so it may not be true, but still.
Sure, tell us this thing that may or may not be true.
Steven Spielberg was a big fan of the games.
Ooh,
well, maybe
Apparently,
maybe that's why.
Rumor has it.
Rumor has it.
Oh my God! I knew someone was going to do it.
Rumor has it.
Going to do it.
Spielberg was actually supposed to be in that scene.
You guys are so predictably disappointing.
Spielberg
just like this movie.
Exactly. Spielberg's supposed to be in the scene. No, actually, was supposed to be him, and he couldn't make it because he had a conflict of not wanting to be in it, probably. But they said scheduling.
You know that
so the guy
classic
Spielberg
conflict.
Like,
I don't want my name attached to this.
Oh yeah, I
read the
woke up
script and I
this
changed my
morning and
mind.
realized what I agreed to, and now I don't want to do it.
That's why they made the guy look like Spielberg, because apparently rumor has it that was supposed to be Spielberg.
And that's funny that that's the case, because I honestly just assumed that it was like, hey, we have a director character, and we need the audience to know that they're the director.
So get a guy with a beard and glasses and a hat.
What can we do visually to convey director? Well, what if he just looked like Spielberg? Yeah, audiences will put that together. That guy's the director, sure.
Yeah. He's sitting there telling people what to do. And then Johnny Cage takes off and he runs into his
Johnny, baby, we got to do the scene again.
What was it? His agent? He goes into his agent, Michael
What
McDonald.
he thinks is his agent.
Turns out that it's T-1000.
Raggy.
Oh, that is a T-1000 scene. He walks very slowly across. So he hands him the Mortal Kombat invitation and then takes off. And it's like, well, that's my scene. And then the guy who's his agent walks very slowly, like the T-1000.
Here, take this invitation, Johnny Cage, and you'll show him. You'll show all of them.
Well, first of all, we haven't really. We should say what the agent pitches to Johnny Cage. He's like, "Hey, Johnny, like, how you doing?" He's like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Blank, I can't remember the name, Agent Man." And he's like, "I'm just working on this movie, but I'm still upset because no one thinks I'm a real martial artist. They think I'm a fake. Look at the papers. Remember when papers were important?
Yes.
Wow, that brings me back to fireplaces."
And that's a thing worth talking about right there. Is that the papers were saying that his movie, like the stuff that he did in his movies, was fake. And
you know what?
What?
You know what?
That's how movies are made.
Yeah.
I know.
People don't actually fight other people.
Whenever they went into the Thunderdome, they weren't actually fighting in the Thunderdome. Like,
Yeah.
I know. I feel like that's the only the reason they
What's the conflict?
Mortal Kombat has squished my brain.
So
this
they
is
all
ridiculous.
So the guy he hands him the invitation, walks away like stiff as hell, I might add. Like, how could they have not gotten a better take of him just walking down this little strip of parking garage? But he turns into Shang Tsung, and then you realize that it's malicious intent, and that just brings me to one point, and that is that I don't know why anyone is doing anything. Like, why is Shang Tsung?
But Sam, they're in Mortal Kombat.
Why is Shang Tsung making it a point to give Johnny Cash? Johnny.
I totally
Why
thought
is
that
he-
when I was watching the movie.
Why is he making it a point to give Johnny Cage an invitation to the tournament if Johnny Cage is like one of the like prophecy people who's supposed to be able to stop like them from winning the last Mortal Kombat?
My rebuttal, if I may.
Yeah, I want to hear.
That's your problem.
Yeah, because like if they win 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And whose decision was that?
Yeah.
It
What
was
kind of
10.
council of Mortal Kombat like happened to
Well,
like
alright.
to put aside the rules? Because it seems like when they get to this crazy planet or world realm place,
Well,
I don't know.
Let's go ahead and bring the Council of Mortal Kombat to order.
Yeah. there's all royalty.
How many Mortal Kombats do you have to win in order to be able to invade the Earth realm and take them over once and for all?
What are you
What's a
saying
good number?
about
I
12?
submit to the council that we either do 16 rounds of putt-putt golf or 10 rounds of Mortal Kombat.
Well, what would take longer?
Probably the putt-putt golf.
Well, 10 rounds of Mortal Kombat it is.
Huzzah! And that's how they decided it.
That's how decisions are
See,
made.
that wasn't so hard to explain,
It
Chad.
happened in Rome.
And then you
Happened in
have
Mortal
Christopher
Kombat.
Lambert over here just like, oh my God, you've got to be kidding me. That was their decision.
So
I don't think so.
Shang Tsung was on a roll. He's won 9 out of 10. And so why did he pick like 3?
So they could be in the movie. It's,
most-
yeah.
Because the movie
I
had
get
to
it.
happen.
Yes, because
Everybody showed up with all that equipment. Something had to happen.
there
They
was
were
a
like,
video
Someone's
game.
like,
Movie's
guys, we
gonna
gotta
happen.
film something.
We also skipped the part we didn't go through exactly what the agent pitched, which the only reason I'm bringing it back up is it's basically what is pitched to every character. And he's like, hey, Johnny, baby, you're worried about being a fake. Well, here's this competition here with the best fighters in the world. You go win this. Everyone knows you're the genuine article. See
And
what
the guy
I'm
sounds
saying?
nothing
it's
like
also
that in the
super
movie.
top
No,
secret.
that's just me doing a bit.
You
but
just do it like a bit.
I can't remember what the agent sounds like.
He sounds like a dude.
The movie is so colorful in every way that anything that is not just popping out like a pop-up book is just forgotten. And that agent is
And
in
honestly,
that
a lot of the
category.
stuff popping up like a pop-up book is forgotten.
Yeah, because there's just a lot of pop-ups happening.
Yeah, it's like, flip the page.
New character.
Then the bookends.
So they're like, okay, we're going to go fight the best fighters in the world. No big deal. They all get sold on this. The reason I bring this up is to back up Sam's
Well,
point.
Sonya Blade's chasing Kano.
And Liu Kang actually knows
I
exactly what's going on. He's agreeing to the Mortal Kombat.
Like, I understand Sonya chasing Kano, and I understand Liu Kang, like, vaguely wants revenge.
Well, yeah, but he also like for him it's about revenge. But like, there's a scene where Lord Raiden shows up at the temple where his family lives.
Oh, man, that
Question?
whole scene.
Where he's like, you gotta defend Earth's realm.
Well, hold on. Asher, did you have a thing that you were going to say about all this before you moved on?
Well, I was just going to say, besides Liu Kang, who might have some vague notion of supernatural activity, and even that I don't think is... I think he probably doesn't suspect what he's about to walk into.
Yeah, it's very vaguely hinted at.
This
It
is
doesn't really
what
lean
I'm trying to
into
say
it.
is back up your earlier point of why nothing makes any sense. None of them seem to be expecting anything that out of the ordinary of the regular universe that you would observe to happen.
Yeah.
Like no one would expect weird, freaky, spiritual kung fu shit to happen at any point.
Yeah, it's not established that like crazy supernatural stuff just happens in this world and we're all used to it.
Like they live in a brutal world, but it's not like a fantasy world or a supernatural world. And so that is a point I think to set up before they set off on the journey.
It's not even dystopian 1997 world though. It's like it's not that bad.
They better count their
This-
blessings. It's not
Like, 'cause where do we go? Where do we go?
1997.
We go to a club, a temple, and a dock, and then they hop on a boat. But those things are all things that exist, and I've seen them all.
And at the temple, that's where they run into Lord Raiden.
Yeah.
And they use the first of many of these setup shots where it's like they have like a kind of wide establishing shot, but they should have gone wider with it.
Possibly, yeah. It's like
It just doesn't quite look right.
A while before you get the whole temple in frame.
And then by the time that it does pull into it, it's just it just kind of feels like somebody realized they fucked up. So then they were just like, oh shit, okay. And then brought it in where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and there's that other like kind of tracking shot.
And then they do it again immediately after that. Whenever he's walking down the little like aisle.
Yeah. So it zooms in. It's supposed to be a fast zoom in, and it's not very fast. And I think it's because the take they went with, the camera's kind of tilting to the left a little bit, like someone was about to lose balance.
They probably
still went to it, and then it ended there.
No,
like
we can fix it in post. We're not making Casablanca.
That's where Lord Raiden shows up, and Lord Raiden's like, "You got to do the thing because of the plot." And he's like, "I'm not going with your plot.
Grandfather, get up! This guy isn't Lord Raiden.
I'm going with my own plot. I'm not listening to this bum."
He's like, "Oh yeah, well try me, bro." And then so Liu Kang tries him, and he does this cheesy little
straight
flip
tries him.
But all he does is like a cheesy staged WWE pro wrestling flip.
That's not fair, Sam. There's something you don't understand. It's in slow motion.
He's doing a bit, okay.
It's in slow motion,
and so he does this cheesy slow motion flip, and then like Liu Kang gets up, and then Raiden looks at him and like does like the lightning-y thing with his eyes.
Yeah,
which
they do many times. To remind you, hey, Raiden does electrical shit.
And shout out to 90s CGI, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to all you 90s CGI folks. It may not have
sorry
held
you
up
don't have jobs anymore, but
all that makes
fault.
me think is like if Raiden could do that with his eyes, why wouldn't he have just done that right away? Just to be like, hey, don't even bother trying me, man, because I am Lord Raiden.
Because he had to check a bitch.
Well, where was the baby powder, man? He just should have like slapped that shit on and just been like, all right, I'm gonna take you to school right quick. Like he should have leaned into that role if that's what he was gonna. Okay, but anyways, they got to get to the dock.
They haven't even started the Mortal
get on
Kombat.
the boat.
We got to get... Okay, we're on the boat.
Let's
Just get on the boat.
They get to the dock.
They get on Freaky Boat. Freaky
old
boat.
And then it's like a sitcom, you know, like and they all like run into each other on the dock.
Have a nice little chat.
Johnny Cage is a dick to everybody. I give you money, you carry baggy, and it's just like...
Did he say baggy?
No,
he just talks like a dick. He's just talking like a dick.
Guy's a dick.
Liu Kang, of course, snatches the money and tosses the bag off the dock.
Yeah,
as anyone would.
Very satisfying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this begins. Just to back up. I think Sam stated the thesis of this cast, which is this movie just doesn't make sense and nothing is explained. These three characters, these three protagonists, treat every scene like a sitcom made in the 90s.
It's no big deal.
Makes no sense because freaky stuff is happening and they should be freaking out.
And they're firing off one-liners.
Yeah, they're just like, look,
yeah.
freaky old boat from ancient China pulls up. Nothing weird going on. I guess we didn't get first class seats. Am I right? All right, let's get on the boat and not ask any questions.
And then the dock. Oh god, it's ridiculous.
So they get on that bad boy.
And they're like,
they start
that's
sailing
awkward.
off. After Liu Kang, of course, throws the luggage in the water, and they start sailing off.
Well, not Sonya. She jumps in because she's a bad.
Oh yeah. Sonya
She's
chases
like, Kano's
the boat.
on that boat, so I'm just going to jump in and swim after it.
Who knows?
I guess.
This is what Jax would want me to do. It's like, well, where's Jax? He's back at headquarters.
No, Jax is 10 feet behind her, telling her not to do it.
Hey, don't do it.
Hey, no, stop. Hey. No, Sonya, stop. Hey, that's it. And
Hey,
that's
don't you walk away from me.
Don't you jump off the dock.
Don't you keep walking away.
Don't you keep walking away.
Don't you get on that boat.
Don't you jump off the...
Don't you settle into that boat like you're going to be there for a while.
Don't you go down to the galley.
Put those bags in check. Don't you do that. Don't you... You better get out of that bed acting like you're going to be sleeping.
Grace, we just have to let them do this for a while.
I said, don't you go down to that boat. Yeah, she totally got on that boat. But she got lured on by Kano.
No, she's chasing after him.
But no, they were luring
hold on, I
her.
have a
They were
question.
luring
That's,
her.
you know,
I have a
that's,
question. Can I-
that brings us to an interesting point that I want to make about this movie, and it's a problem. That's toxic.
Wait, what? You mean there's a problem in the movie?
This
oh
movie-
my
that's-
God! People hold the presses.
That brings me to my next point about this movie. Toxic masculinity.
What? What is that?
No, I don't.
Oh,
I
you're
don't-
doing a thing?
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
I don't have anywhere else to go with that.
I have a question. Why is Sonya chasing after Kano?
Because
he killed
he's a
her partner.
criminal. He's doing.
What did he do?
He killed her partner,
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah, kill the partner.
And he's known as a general like bad guy on Earth. Like,
Well, I mean, I know he's not
Because
a good
I
guy.
eat
I can-
chicken in a gross way.
I have
he's
an
got-
accent. My eyes all
it's-
fucked
it's
up.
clear-
Obviously, I'm
it's-
the bad guy.
I'm the
It's
bad
clearly
guy,
turkey.
babe.
It's clearly turkey.
It looked like that mega leg that like KFC used to sell, dude. It's like the
Like
size
the
of like a
mega
baby
leg.
Yeah,
skull.
Like turkey, yeah.
it totally
Yes,
looked like
giant.
turkey. Like
what bird is that size?
Medieval
Ostrich?
times.
Turkey.
Okay, turkey.
He was
Turkey
looking
legs
like
are huge.
he was
Like a
eating
bowling
at
ball with a
medieval
stick on it.
times Later on, but
So
Ridiculous.
they lure her with him onto the boat. Does any other exposition happen on the boat? I just want to get to the island.
Well,
and
this
get
is
to
where they
Mortal
finally.
Kombat.
This is where like
It has begun.
yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, this is where all the exposition happens. So we've had actually. This is the funny thing. We have all these divided scenes between the three protagonists, and Sam pointed out like it's doing a bad job, but it is like quick character development real fast to get back to the plot.
Oh yeah, that's one thing I can give this movie is as bad as it is, like that opening sequence when it's introducing characters and setting the plot forward.
Yeah,
That's
It does so very quickly and efficiently, and does so better than say Suicide Squad.
yeah, where it does it twice and
that, sir, is like complimenting masturbation
If you're lucky.
for getting the job of sex done rather quickly, even though shoddily. Like, I'm sorry, no points there. No points there.
No, I'm just saying you
Well,
can
we'll
you
have
can,
to
you
check
can
the
put it
score
up
with
you
the
can put it up
judges.
next to a AAA release that cost so much more money than it did, and it's like, hey, yeah, well, you did better than that movie.
It's funny if you call it a AAA release because we kept talking about this movie and we're like, is this made for TV? This looks like it was made for TV.
It's just the editing. The editing was
Well, I'm referring,
it was like-
I'm referring to Suicide Squad as a AAA release, but no, yeah, the editing was awful.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Oh yeah. Well, it cuts away to black and then comes back like it's a commercial break.
And I don't know, like
I don't know if that's like the
we
version we're
watched it-
watching.
we watched it on, we watched it on Hulu.
Yeah.
We did do that. I don't know if we're watching a version that was.
That's the thing. I don't know.
I tried
it could be
to
cut
look
for
it up.
TV.
I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find anything.
Dude,
on
wouldn't that
it,
be
so I
great
don't
if we
know.
watched like the edited TV version and there's like the more proper version somewhere out there that has a few scenes in it that totally fix the movie?
More proper version.
It would need an awful lot to fix.
Yeah, it's like another 2 hours of movie.
I mean, there are just so many questions of just why are they here?
Yeah, you
why
just-
are
that's
they
basically-
going there?
you
How did they
basically-
What
get
the
out of this
hell?
other place?
And
How
why?
did they get to this place? Why are they going to this place now?
Who's that
why
guy?
Are they doing? Yeah, what's going on over?
You basically
How does
said
that
like
what? Why didn't they wait? I thought they were in Mortal Kombat. Why are they sparring?
I mean, am I just not supposed to ask these questions in this movie?
Why can't he go there with the rest of them?
Yeah, your explanation about like a proper version of Mortal Kombat, I like that idea, but I feel like that's saying like there's like a better version of Ulysses or Naked Lunch that somehow explains those books. Like if you read them,
Yeah,
that's
they're-
not just that's not just a cut for TV. That's a completely
They're called Cliff
different
Notes, man.
movie.
That's what those
yeah.
Oh man.
Don't ever read either one of those. But Mortal
Oh
Kombat.
no, my hatred of Naked Lunch is documented.
Yeah, we know.
well, anyways, so before they get to the island, do they meet any of the fighters? I
Okay, so
think
this is what they go down to the second
Sub-Zero,
floor. They're
right?
like, "What are we all doing
Yeah,
here?"
they're like
We're-"
inside the boat.
and they're just talking casually because why? I don't know.
on this creepy boat.
Creepy boat.
Creepy
They go
ass
to
boat.
actually point out the chain room where they hang all the chains. like
no,
it's in
no.
every boat.
Chain.
That was
That was
me.
actually that was you.
That was me.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that
don't-
you?
I
That's
don't
a good
think I
question.
was there by
wasn't-
that point.
Asher wasn't here yet.
Okay.
No, it was just they just go into the hanging chains room.
Hanging chains
just,
room.
Just the room where they hang
Liu
the chains.
Kang shows up, starts talking a bit of shade, throwing it at it, and it's working. Let's be honest, it's working. Like our heroes are trying to give
Oh,
one-liners.
Liu Kang is such a dick.
But who isn't? Come on.
and then he says
everybody's a
something.
dick.
He says something cryptic, and then
Like everyone does
and
in
then
this movie.
a door opens and Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
You mean our 2 Party City outfits come through the door?
2 of 3.
And
Flipping
then,
around.
and then, like, they
The
start.
third one is a bonus, good sir.
They
and we are
engage in
grateful.
light Mortal Kombat. Like they the Tweedledee and Tweedledum start getting in position to fight them, and then
A lot of this movie is that. Just
it's
like
a lot of
getting-
stretching and doing,
getting into fiting positions.
Yeah.
Just like showing off that I
And
know
smack
this.
talking.
Yeah. Yes.
Get
and,
over here.
and then Sub-Zero immediately freezes something, so they're all just like, "Oh damn!" Instead of what the real world, which would be like, which is what the.
Yeah, this is
Like that's ridiculous. That
can
like
fight
he
with
throws her
magic?
gun
They're
with
just-
the magic.
they're just
with the
like-
magic.
with
Oh,
the magic.
With the magic.
Oh, great, gang. Look what we get to fight later. That's gonna be tough.
And
Yeah, they just
Scorpion's-
accept it so easily. They're not like, wow, this fundamentally alters the way I view the universe.
Yeah,
someone
everything I
just
know
bent,
is wrong.
Like
Talk-
if someone
talk
had
about-
mouths reach out of their hands and yell at us. I think that's pretty damn freaky. Maybe this isn't just a martial arts competition. Anyone else? No, okay. We'll just fight
being
them.
in the hot seat.
Ooh.
Talk about a cold shoulder, am I right?
That's not cool.
Where's the where's the canned laughter?
No, it's the last one we did, man.
Does the movie have canned laughter? I feel like the movie should have.
You know
canned
what?
Laughter.
They couldn't afford the budget for canned laughter.
They couldn't afford the stock canned laughter.
We should have it
But
now.
if that wasn't enough, Lord Raiden comes down from the skies and kicks these Tweedledee and Tweedledum out of the way and appears out of a lightning ball fire cloud
Thing.
techno thing, and he's just like, point of order, sir.
How is he 2 different lightning clouds at once? Like,
I don't know.
what
That's
I
the
wanna
power
know.
of Lord Raiden. But he's just like, excuse me, sir. We've all agreed that you must not engage in Mortal Kombat until the ceremony has started, and you're trying to get one up on us. So you can't do that. It's against the rules.
that's
sorcerer.
another part of this movie that
Who
is
makes up these rules?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the deal.
Council of Mortal Kombat's coming to order. We're gonna have to figure out these rules right about now. Otherwise, we're gonna have people fighting on the ships, and we just can't have that. That's ridiculous.
So we shall establish that there will be no fighting until the established time
They
of the
have to
beginning of
raise
the
the
competition.
island. Which
All in
island?
favor, say hurrah. The Council of Mortal Kombat has spoken. That's how they made the rules.
That's it.
But
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
These are all scenes that got cut.
you
from the final
wish
film.
you got this explanation in the movie. You wish you just
Because-
got what
yeah,
we
because-
explained.
I want to say one thing on
Yeah.
the journey from the when they left America into Shang Tsung's island. It looks like Jason and the Argonauts, kind of. It looks like they're totally
Yeah.
on
Yep.
a
So
mission.
that's some of
Especially
the effects are exactly like the Jason and the Argonauts thing, like bad map paintings and
when Goro shows
whatever.
up.
Yeah, especially when Goro shows up. And the other half of effects are the best special effects 1995 had to offer.
You must be
But-
talking about Reptile.
It was just so cool because Asher was saying something cool about the movie is the lore of Mortal Kombat and all the rules that the council makes for us. You like slowly learn as Raiden intervenes and make sure
That's all he does is go
Shang Tsung
point
is-
of order, and that's it.
After all this talk, I really want somebody to make a graphic of Raiden, but cut it with the Better Call Saul, make it like Better Call Raiden.
That's too funny.
Like he's the lawyer that has to deal with the council and all that.
Okay, so they arrive. No, they get through the night. Raiden kind of explains a little bit of what's going on.
But
He's
not
like,
all of it. He's busy being Lord Raiden.
yeah, but no, I mean, but he does give them the gist of, oh yeah, and the whole universe hangs on this contest or whatever. Like,
or else your whole country will be enslaved.
I've
yeah, it's
listened
no big deal or
I've
whatever.
listened to
But
your
like, if you
souls
fail
and-
at this, the
So,
whole earth
Yeah,
is
you
just
guys
like,
are close enough, guys.
of billions are in your hands. Ha 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 ha.
ha ha ha.
Oh, sorry.
Why did he do that?
Why did he do
Why did he do that?
Because that was the cheesy '90s. This
Well, like-
movie is sprinkled with that. Also,
Well,
by the
Lambert
way.
does that. He does
Back
that.
in the 90s, those kind of jokes were funny. I don't know.
But he did that in Highlander. Like in the last fight, it's this big serious fight, and then someone shows up in the middle, and she's about to get taken down with a sword because she's there.
And then he reveals that
And-
he's Lord Raiden.
Yeah. Well, he blocks the sword and goes, "Haha, what kept you?" He like throws a bad joke in the middle of a fight. So I guess it's like a Chris Lambert trademark.
I think it's a trademark of this movie. They're always throwing bad
Which I
jokes
like Lambert. He's good.
in the
I like
middle
him
of
stuff.
brutal fights. But they show up, they realizing that they now have the responsibility of billions,
So
which
cheesy.
they don't respond with the way any of us would, which is, oh my God, I
No.
can't even comprehend the responsibility I now have in my hands. Every human on Earth is going to be affected by the decisions I make in the next few hours. They're like, well, it's a good thing I had my morning coffee today. Am I right, Sonya? Am I right? Yeah. Here we go. It's morning with Johnny Cage and Liu Kang.
And so-
And then they
Blade.
get to the island. And, it probably isn't even an island. It's probably
Yeah.
just like the Ghost of California or something like that.
Oh,
Like,
man.
This movie's really cheap.
I don't even know.
But they get to the island, and they have like the smaller boats that come off of the boat that get them to the island.
Oh, can we talk about the boat?
We get another quick sight gag because, of course, all three of them. It's like, because one of you three have looked inside their souls, I've looked inside yours. One of you three will be the ones that decide this tournament.
That
Blah
was a good
blah
impersonation.
exposition. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. And so and then the smaller boats go off, and they're all three, of course, someone on the smaller boats, and Liu Kang and Sonya Blade, just like regular people, like get off of the boat and proceed. And then Johnny Cage, of course, because this is a comedy, we got to get some laughs, folks.
Boost that laugh
He
factor.
has not one, not two,
But
not three.
17 different pieces
They
of
added
luggage.
pieces of luggage from when it became a gag to when he got off that boat and did another gag.
Yeah, somehow he's been just creating pieces of luggage.
I mean, it's a mystical boat, but still.
Maybe like his luggage are like pieces of amoeba that just like split apart into more pieces
Just
of
kind of like
luggage.
the mitochondria of luggage.
And now he's just like, well, what can I do? I can't just leave him here. I gotta pack him under
Yes,
my
you can.
arm.
You can do that more than everyone else. You're a famous person with the money to back it up, who also knows how to fight, apparently.
Speaking of which, why are you here?
More
And
stuff.
I've got two problems with this. Problem number one is
only two.
He could have just made a couple extra trips to get the rest of the luggage later. Number two, why didn't he just like pay Liu Kang to grab him for him or something? Like he was right there. Just
If he dropped them, so if he paid Liu Kang to drop them in the inlet
paid
of where
you
they
money
were,
to get that baggie.
the good chance the tide would have brought them in anyway. So actually, Liu Kang would have done him a favor.
Oh,
That gets complicated though. Do you have to tip the tide?
I didn't know you had to do that. Oh my God, I've been a
broke the
dick
room.
this whole time.
I broke
Yeah,
the
he
room.
broke the room.
Oh man, I did not
But
tip the tide last time.
I mean, the tide's going there
Jesus.
anyway. So, I mean, 10%?
I mean, the tide was pretty rude the
It's
last
going-
time I was there. So, like, I mean, dude, does
To be
they
honest,
really
I'm
need
really
it?
surprised I'm back at this Mortal Kombat tournament this time compared to the service I had last time.
but the funny end of this bit with the luggage is that they've traveled a long time and now they're climbing up
Oh, they go up the stairs.
these huge.
Oh my God, these stupid, dumb. I hate these stairs. And it's
And
just
Because
like
not only are they
Right.
on an island, they're on an island
it
cliff.
goes to the sky. It goes
based
beyond
on-
the clouds.
And based on a specific scene that happens later, I'm actually thankful that we don't have to watch them walk up all of the stairs.
But we watched them
stairs.
walk up many stairs, and Johnny Cage still has all those pieces of luggage.
He makes it almost to the top before there's
Almost to
the.
the top,
and then he like fumbles and he kind of falls back and he just drops. They
Drops most of
And
them.
fumbling down like
most
a
of 'em-
Jenga block.
But by the time he gets to the next scene, he obviously just says, "Well, I'm not going to carry this bag if I don't have all my bags." So
and when he, right before
and
he
later
drops
on, he's
them,
comparing about a $500 pair of sunglasses. That
right
shirt.
before he drops them, Liu
Well, he
Kang
still
is
likes
like,
a deal.
Do you want some help?
it's ridiculous.
They just go everywhere.
Anyhow, I think we should jump ahead to when people start fighting because that's what this
Because
movie's
this
all
movie
about.
doesn't know how to do that.
Yeah, there is so much freaking buildup that
We finally hit the Mad
So
Max
now
part of the video.
now we're on the island. Are we gonna fight? I'd love to let us start fighting, but first we have to climb these stairs. Well, now that we're up these stairs, we're gonna fight. I'd love to start fighting, but first we have to have this dinner sequence. Well, now that we've had this dinner sequence, are we gonna start fighting? I'd love to start fighting, but first we have to have this exhibition where Sub-Zero just takes somebody out really easily.
it's one of our guys too. We're even losing one. I don't know why I'm doing this, but meh.
Yep, and he knows what he's getting into as well. Like it's crazy all around.
Can we fight now? No. Wait till morning.
By the way, can we just? This is the time to comment. This is when I was watching this for the first time. We were watching this, and I was like, "Man, there's just a lot of jack dudes in this movie." That's basically every extra. There are not a lot of females in this movie.
No,
it's basically
a lot of
Sonya
Jack
and
dudes.
Princess. What's her name?
Katana.
And that's it. There's just jack dudes around it. But there's tons of people in every scene. There's tons
lots of jack
they
dudes.
outline
and none of them,
the battle arena. There's just jack dudes.
and none of them are like taken from the video games. I mean, like I guess as like generic background character designs, but there are definitely people that like the main characters have to take down. Where it's just like, yep, these people are not in any game.
What weren't these games kind of built around the premise of we have all these characters, let's find a way to put them together? Because the characters are so varied.
I mean, it is a fighting game.
I mean, you have you have like Liu Kang, which is pretty much based on Bruce Lee.
But the game has always had a loose lore to it.
Yeah,
like a loose storyline.
But I mean,
in fact, that's one of the questions I have, and I don't really know the answer. Is like, do they really honor the lore of Mortal Kombat, or is it because there's a lot of stuff that's just said off the cuff in this movie?
Yeah,
like real fat. By off the cuff, I mean just real fast.
Well, Sonya
like I'm the
Blade-
general. Like later, Goro says like I'm the general of whatever, leader of the people of blank.
That's
And
pretty,
I never bring
that's
it
pretty
back up.
accurate.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate. I don't know about the names of like whoever he represents. I'd have to look into that. I don't know off the top.
You
of my
know
head.
it's there because that
But
lore
he
there.
is like some kind of general prince person of like other four-armed things. Like it's a thing in the universe. Like
Actually, dude, I don't know if he's like. They go to what is it, Off-World or whatever they call it? What do they call it?
the outer realms or whatever.
Outer world.
Yeah, like
And there's like royalty, and at the end there's an emperor.
Man. You're getting real deep there.
Well,
Like,
where else am I going to get deep if not
there-
about Mortal Kombat?
There are a lot of characters in the series.
But like in Jackson Sonya, that's pretty true to the games. You know, they're just like they're SWAT team people. They're going after Kano, who is just a generic criminal, like with like a cybernetic eye.
So he was just a generic criminal. And by the way, this movie was only
Scorpion and
after the first
Sub-Zero
two
were,
games,
like,
right?
Sworn enemies, though, like by default.
Yeah, they're working together in this movie. It's pretty weird
I guess that the movie
because
like
they're slaves
the,
of.
the movie doesn't tell you that, but yeah, something like that. Surely, I guess
because they're just trapped by the magic of
Shang Tsung.
Yeah, Shang Tsung. Because they are definitely they fight each other. In fact, the latest trailer for Mortal Kombat 11, I think, don't they fight?
Well, the thing is like Sub-Zero's clan raided the village where Scorpion and his family lived and killed all of them. And I think Scorpion died like at battle or something like that, and he was like able to return from hell like a la Spawn, kind of like as a Spectre warrior kind of a thing. And now he seeks revenge for his family against the clan that Sub-Zero is now the head of, and that's the clan that killed his family.
Exactly.
So is that why when they take out Scorpion later and spoilers, there's like a skull and like when they cut into him like fire.
Yeah, he's like a Spectre demon type person. And
that's why they're fighting in hell too.
By the way, that thing that I just laid out
from before.
That thing that I just laid out is one of many backstories that the games have used. Like the games have used many backstories. I'm putting that out because I don't want anybody like coming at me like that's not how fucking it's like I
oh my
know,
god, you're spot on.
I know it's just
you're the voice in my head when I read a YouTube comment.
Yep.
That's just one of the backstories. Is something kind of like that happens. But anyways, they're working together in this movie. I'm waiting for the buddy cop sequel to come out, but
he's a little cold. This guy's a ghost.
This guy's one's a little hot-headed. One's got a cold shoulder.
What are we gonna do?
Combat Thursdays this fall.
They see what those dudes can do, and they're like, once again, this is another part of the movie where if I were any of the three protagonists, I'd be like, hey, that guy just froze a dude, and that other guy had a mouth coming out of his hand.
Attached to a chain.
This fundamentally alters the way I viewed the universe my entire life. So I think we should take a break and realize what we've gotten ourselves into and maybe figure out a way out of this. That's what I would have done in their situation. But instead they're like, mouth hands. That's what we should call that guy. Mouth hands. Because he has mouths for hands. Am I right, Liu Kang? Up top.
Well, I will
Friends.
say that the movie has established that there is no communicating with the outside world while they're on this island.
Thank God, right?
And everyone is so chill about it.
There's just a quick sequence where it's just like, hello, headquarters. I'm trying to call headquarters.
I'm a police officer.
While you're at it, would you call my agent?
Oh, yeah. Calls her
What
out.
am I, your secretary?
I don't care. I'm a 90s toxic male figure.
And then he says, "Am I your travel agent?"
Oh yeah, later. Yeah. They do a callback joke to a scene that wasn't necessary.
That's
Yeah,
the
this
whole
is
movie.
part of the
That's the
humor.
movie in a
This-
nutshell.
This movie does have a decent bit. But
And-
so, like, are we to the fighting yet? Does
Let's just
fighting
get to the
start?
fighting. Like this podcast is almost like the movie. It's like, let's just get to the fighting.
Like, so Liu Kang is first, I guess, and he's fighting like
The Jack dude.
yeah, like the giant dude.
Because we were like, damn, that's a jacked giant dude.
Yeah, I would not. I would be
that guy-
horrified to fight him.
That guy is not like
Ever.
an actor or anything like that, but
He's
he
just a
is. He is something.
He's
Everybody's something.
Yeah,
man.
he's a kickboxing champion,
Oh shit.
Is it that guy?
and yeah, Hakeem Alston. Yeah, he's a kickboxing
He looked
champion.
intimidating as hell. Although this fight does start with the thing we were talking about earlier, which is people stretching and getting in position before fighting.
It's
Like
a whole lot of that. It's
they
a whole
do
lot
that
of
at
like,
first, as if like, oh, to fight I have to wind up.
yeah, like
something.
it's a whole lot of like Dragon Ball Z style, like kind of just, and
and that's the THX
it's just
audio.
just ridiculous.
At the beginning of things.
Oh man,
Oh man.
that was good.
Just had to get that
So
in.
they fight each other with sticks.
Funny you bring that up.
They fight each other with sticks. And Liu
It doesn't
Kang
work
is
out. They break their
eventually-
sticks, so they're like, "Fuck the sticks. We'll use our hands." That's what
like-
happens.
Like the sticks was just an obstacle to get to the real meat of this story. And so they fight for a little while, and then Liu Kang does like a double kick to the chest, and I guess that was enough to take out the guy. So
Kickboxer guy
the kickboxer guy goes down.
goes down.
Shang Tsung announces a flawless victory, even though Liu Kang totally got hit like so many times.
He's
Not flawless.
Not-
Somewhat flaws.
Not flawless. About as flawless as that was.
Yeah, I just caught this thing that was falling. It was pretty rad. You heard the noise of me catching it.
So is that part of the lore? Like, if someone beats someone or like knocks them out, then Shang Tsung takes their soul.
Well, back in the day, you just hear a voice that say like victory, and then your soul is mine.
I was waiting for Gilbert Gottfried to hop out in a tuxedo and go, whoopsie!
Can you imagine if they got Godfrey for Shang Tsung instead?
Victory! Your soul is mine. Flawless victory.
your time chasing after me, Liu Kang. I killed your brother. We see Kano is sitting at like a gigantic ass table filled with food.
Turkey legs. Still eating those turkey legs,
I guess
dude.
the presumption is he's going to eat all of that food because he's like gross and stuff.
That's how they
He's
play it
got-
off later.
he's
They're
got
like,
like
You're
a-
so, we
he-
brought you all this food. You're so gross.
And he's got like a big ass turkey leg in his mouth, and he's got like grease dripping off his face.
I'm
and
just
he's-
talking all
he's
over
just
it
like,
while he's eating.
like, oh, well, you know, I'm talking through my Australian accent, so if you can understand parts of the plan that I'm saying, it will get on you, mate. And it's going down to the jummy and just the shrimp on the bobby.
Oh, and Goran's just like, fool, I am
Like-
the greatest fighter. Ha 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 ha.
I have another set of arms.
but only 3 fingers.
And he's also like 9
Yeah.
feet tall.
Yeah, he's really tall. John pointed this out. He's got Ninja Turtle fingers.
yeah.
He's got like the 3 fingers with the do the turtle 5. It's
totally
like
And the
Okay.
whole point of this scene is for him to be like, do you know what it sounds like when 4 fists slam on the table? It sounds like this.
it's a good thing there was like they did all that at once.
And then
instead of it was
Kano
like,
gets all scared because he's just like, oh, I guess Goro's serious now. I
I
guess
shouldn't have been eating all that turkey so recklessly.
All that
I'm really
tryptophan.
tired and I can't fight Goro anymore from all this turkey I ate.
He still got a metal eye. It's pretty badass. But
It
yeah,
does look cool.
Truly,
it is cool
truly
looking.
channeling the Han Solo type
I
renegade
do
character.
think I do think it was a mistake in the. No, this is hilarious. This is even saying a mistake in the film Mortal Kombat. Here's one drop in the ocean. Was this with Goron's character?
Guru.
You get to go what?
Guru.
The Gorons,
Goro, sir.
The Gorons are the
Yeah,
race from
damn it.
Zelda.
That's what I'm thinking of. The rock guys from
they
Zelda.
live in Goron
Goro.
City by Death Mountain.
Guru.
Goro.
Goro.
That is-
G-U-R-U.
It
Goro.
wasn't me. It was the four-armed
Wow,
man.
we circled around that one for a while
Sorry.
before we got to it. But Goro is there. I feel like they introduced him so early on, and he just says these really grandiose statements. It makes him. If it wasn't for
Seems petty.
it's very petty.
Yeah.
But if it wasn't for the Jason of the Argonauts animation of his face, he would not be scary. He's so artificial that he's terrifying. But like he makes all these statements that you really don't. You're like, man, I shouldn't be scared of you.
He's got to be like a puppet or something.
Yeah, because you're just like, I am the general of the people, and I led these people, and I am so great, and I will crush these puny mortals and give me more turkey.
His dialogue was written by like an evil villain algorithm or something. Was just like it's like you shake the 8-ball of villainy, and it's just like whatever the bad phrase is, we're just gonna say that in the scary voice.
You know how there's like a Wu-Tang name generator? There's that, but for villain dialogue, and that's what happened.
And
here.
that is the writing credit that went to Goro.
Yeah, I hear Goro improvised all his own stuff, and I'm not surprised.
I will bring death upon all those who oppose me.
And then that scene's there to... What's that scene there for? To be there?
Yeah.
What happens?
I mean, that's
and then
just...
Liu Kang shows up... excuse me.
Well, no, then the next scene, Kano has to fight Sonya, because that was the whole deal, is Kano wanted to kill Sonya because he thought that he had studied her moves enough to take her down.
By the way, I just want to say that when they change state... Okay, so one of the things about this movie is they try to explain too much about the video game. One of the things is the
and
weird...
not enough about the movie.
And the weird stuff that the bad guy will yell out. He'll be like, fatality, flawless victory. They try to explain that crap.
Yeah.
Because we're also
where was
curious.
the whoopsie guy? That's what I'm saying. Where's the whoopsie guy?
And along with that, they change stages like you would in a video game. Like one scene, it's like, oh, I'm in this weird
you
place.
You don't see how they get there.
No, they're just there.
It's just the camera pans over because we see another scene on the beach. There's a couple of fight scenes that happen on the beach. We see the one with Liu Kang, the kickboxer guy, and now we're seeing this one with Sonya Blade and Kano. And that's the whole thing is Kano wants to fight Sonya because he thinks he can take her down.
And he thinks he's
I got you, baby. Studied all your
moves.
And he's got both of her hands like bound, and then she's just like, yeah, we'll study this, and just flings her foot forward, just a basic front kick into the abdomen.
And he's like, I've been kicked.
It's like, oh no, I didn't see this coming.
Getting kicked in a fight?
I didn't know you were... John for the win. I didn't know that you could use your legs.
No one tell me you can use your legs.
I thought you just used your hands. I only studied your hands.
Damn it.
He's only got the one eye, so he can only study half for fighting, and he decided that eye would focus on the upper body part of what his fists were doing, and then the other eye couldn't focus on the lower part, which is all the kicking.
And that quickly we wrap up this storyline because she wraps her legs around his neck
upside down
and brings him down, and then breaks his neck, and then that storyline's over.
Hold on.
She killed Kano.
Hold on. She does kill Kano. She does like her whole storyline of trying to bring him in for justice is I kill him. But when once again, this is a fight scene that's mostly in slow motion. These fight scenes should take like 20 seconds.
If only Zack Snyder had directed this.
So she has him on the ground, and Shang Tsung's like pretty much giving her the thumbs up to finish it. And he literally says the words, "Come on, girl, give me a break.
Give me a break."
And she either and then breaks his neck.
And then she just the camera's on her face, and she makes a face, and they put in a cracking sound.
He's like, psh.
And then they cut to him just flopping on the ground.
Yeah, still breathing a little bit.
You gotta love that production quality. Just a $20 million budget.
He might as well wear. It's not all
like
dead
a
people.
Canadian actor doing Shakespeare.
And what's the bad guy's name again? Chun Sang?
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung.
And that's true. That's true to the game. He is like a sorcerer person who captures souls, and that's how he gains immortality and yada yada.
He's very happy about this. She disposes the body, and he's like, okay, on to the next fight.
For what particular reason? Like, is he happy that he's corrupting the Earth Realm people? Like, is that going to help him in his plot in some way? We don't know.
Yeah, you get the vibe from that reaction that like. Does he want to use Sonya later?
Does he have a plan, or is he just like a creepy old man who's kind of an exhibitionist?
He
like,
says
what's
he has
going
a
on?
plan for Sonya in the beginning of the movie. He's like, I have a plan for beautiful Sonya. But he doesn't really.
His plan was to
we'll get there.
get there,
but it
but it's
seems
not a
very.
plan.
It seems
Was
very
to
I
use
winged
his
it.
power
You know,
to
more
manipulate her into sex. Was that his plan? Probably.
That is more likely because when we fast forward into the movie, he takes her,
The whole thing is an
And
allegory.
They ask Raiden, do you think she's gonna make it? And he's like, heck no.
So his
I don't know.
plan was not so much diabolical and genius and craftian as it was
No,
snively whiplashian
No,
of
you-
kidnapping
You
the
could
woman.
you could replace Shang Tsung with the Lost Skeleton of Cadabra, and this movie would not be any different.
Be better.
It could be.
We're
It
going
could-
to
it could
Mortal Kombat.
literally-
I sleep now.
Every scene could be with the Lost Skeleton of Cadabra.
It is
It's
you
like,
who is stupid.
You fool human for trying to oppose me. I killed your brother, and I'll kill you too now.
Haha.
Like the movie would be no different in terms of the events that would happen. Like it would unfold the exact same way.
So she kills Kano, and then Johnny Cage.
Then the camera
Johnny Cage is
pans over,
fighting.
and now we're in the woods, but it's an oddly symmetrical, like dead tree woods. And Johnny Cage is just there. How did he get there? I don't know.
I was so upset when I saw this the first time. I was just like,
Oh.
why?
Johnny
did this
Cage is
happen?
just there.
I think I remember. They're in some kind of subterranean level of Mortal Kombat ground.
No,
They
they
went
get there. They
inside
get there.
the Mortal Kombat.
They get
Yeah,
there.
they were
They
there,
start
but-
off.
and
They
they're-
start off in the woods.
Yeah, they're
You
in
know.
the woods and they're fighting, and then this guy.
But why were they there?
But why were they there?
Why are they
were
in the woods?
fighting?
Where did the
Because
woods
he was
come from?
he was taking a peaceful walk on the island.
Who?
You know?
Which one? Scorpion or Johnny Cage?
Johnny
Whose walk was interrupted by who? Is this a kind of misunderstanding that could have just been resolved by a conversation?
Probably. That's the real message of the movie.
Probably.
But anyhow, Johnny Cage and Scorpion are fighting in the woods, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style.
Oh yeah, it is.
No,
Yeah, totally.
don't bring down the good name of that movie.
But it was very pretty outside in the woods.
It was actually one of
was.
the,
It looked like a nice day, Like
Had to be ruined by
Johnny
fighting.
Cage had a long sleeve shirt on, but he had the sleeves rolled up. It was probably
which he tells you that means business.
I
and he
mean,
had dress pants on.
Well, yeah.
You know he means business.
there's probably a nice little breeze there going on in the woods. It's probably a nice day.
That's why Scorpion let out his hand mouths.
Hey, is there a name for that in the game? Hand mouse?
I don't know.
It's like the thing
You're
from-
just pushing buttons.
I'm asking questions.
Yeah, but you're just talking like BB right. So
Yeah, but
that
you're
was hand
but no,
mouths.
but you're just mashing them though.
It's like a-
Yeah, guys, we played Smash like 2 hours ago.
Why'd you have to bring that back up?
You just got
You
to
know, I am masher of buttons.
just. I mean, there's
Exactly.
there's a move list.
So
these
the
days.
game didn't
Just
explain mouth
look at the
hands,
move
and
list.
neither did the movie. Just mouth hands are happening. Scorpion has mouths in his hands. He sends them out. They try, and he says the line.
That sounds like a tutorial video, by the way.
And he says the line. This is another instance of the movie. For some reason, there are some things the movie really tries to explain while glossing over everything else that it really should be explaining.
It's the only agenda the movie has.
Yeah, and it's like we're gonna explain the line that Scorpion used to say of "Get over here." He used to say that in the video game.
That was
Come
good.
here.
That was good.
Get over here.
That was good.
Yeah,
I like that. That sounds
So
great.
He says that.
Asher's good at that.
Yeah, but that's one of the things they try to explain for some reason.
Because I was so curious of where "get over here" comes
Yeah,
from.
just like why even bother adding the
And by
dialogue
the-
at all? Just leave
and-
it out.
And
Just
their
make Scorpion
explanation
silent.
for it was that he wanted someone to get over here.
Come here. Like that.
yeah.
And then whenever like he finally like his mouth hands buddy like plants himself
Let's
into,
guys-
Good old mouth hands.
Let's make it easy on ourselves.
into a tree. And just like he just has to abandon the head and retract the rest of it. It's
Because
just
the
like
head
well,
gets squished into a jelly. Like,
I guess that's just not an ability that I have anymore.
Yeah, guys, let's make it easy on ourselves. Mouth hands. Let's just call him what he is. Chompy.
Little Chompy.
Well, Chompy's dead now.
his- yeah, he
Chompy's
got
dead
killed.
now. Move on. And so
Damn it, Johnny Chompy's dead.
Scorpion moves on by like whenever Johnny Cage tries to do like I'm guessing it's like his teleporting kick thing. Like if I had to guess,
Classic.
But they
move.
left it out of the movie because of the realism.
because they only had $20 million and they spent all of that on reptiles. So
Oh,
Well,
we have glossed over Reptile.
we haven't gotten
We're
to him
getting
yet.
there.
So he does that, and then they teleport to the subterranean like hellscape area of Mortal Kombat, where like there's like ladders made of bones and everything, and it's just
Bamboo and rope and
why does this place exist? And whenever they plop down and when they plop down there, Johnny Cage looks over at Scorpion, and of course Scorpion is looks over at Johnny Cage like welcome, like.
to hell, I guess.
I'm glad that that's in there, and then they proceed to choreographed fight.
They
Oh,
fight
man.
for a while.
Mario Kondo would have a lot to say about that room.
Yeah.
Uh,
It does not spark joy.
No joy at all.
Johnny Cage then jumps up on like a piece of bone that's conveniently positioned to be like an gymnast swing thing. You know what I'm talking about?
bar, yeah, that
Yeah,
bar.
A swinging bar?
he just kind of swing bars up like to the next level,
And
right?
then double kicks Scorpion in the face, and then like Assassin's Creed's up to like the upper level.
Yes.
And he's like, "Get down here!" And like,
They had to explain
Kicks
that
the
line
tower
again.
Yeah.
In case you want to know where it came from, this fight, apparently.
Now you can rest easy.
All of you. Yeah. So, like that's what I'm saying. Of all the things the movie tries
my
to
God,
explain,
it's
it's
so
just like,
ridiculous.
why this? Why this thing?
but this whole scene exists because they have to get down to the nitty gritty of the scene, and that is like Johnny Cage gets the best of Scorpion once they get to the ground.
It probably was the fact that Scorpion got his outfit from Party City. On sale, $17.99.
It didn't breathe well. It was constricting. He couldn't really fight in it. So, like they're doing that. And like, so Scorpion takes the mask off, and then like it's that really cheesy skull effect, breathing fire and shit. So Johnny Cage, of course, picks up a like medieval looking shield with a bunch of blades on the end of it, because of course that exists.
Just like in history.
That's a thing that's just right there in hell or wherever it is that we are. We don't know where we are. We don't
Where
know.
are we? Are we still in the Mortal Kombat?
We're in the Mortal Kombat.
It
Okay.
could just be Tampa. We don't know.
He fucks him up with it. He catches on fire. An explosion happens. He drops the photo. It's signed Johnny Cage.
yeah.
It's so
I'm my
oh,
biggest
wait,
fan.
no. This is the one time in the movie where I'm like, this is rad.
That
So
was
when
pretty
he
dope.
takes off his face mask and he's the skull and just literally screaming bloody murder and then breathes fire, Johnny grabs that metal shield and holds it back. It's like this kind of, we reference it a lot, Jason and the Argonauts, but I feel like it's like mythical thing of like he's Hercules, like with this effing shield, man, blowing it off. And then, like you said, it doesn't make any sense why there's blades on the edge of the on the shield. However, it
Or just
does,
why it's there.
or why it's there. There's like random.
Is it a Skyrim dungeon or something? Like
There's not only random weapons all over the place, there's random monuments to different mythologies of warriors. So that's interesting. But when he cuts him,
Is there
man,
a Xenomorph's head?
when he cuts, that's for the sequel. So when Johnny cuts into Scorpion, it's like he doesn't bleed
He fires.
blood, he bleeds fire, and then he cuts his
And he
belly.
like bleeds lava
He
looking
bleeds
shit.
lava. It's all crazy, and he's combusting. And of course, Johnny Cage runs and jumps because it's a '90s movie,
Oh yeah, you gotta jump with the explosion.
and then it explodes.
He cuts the skull in half, though. It's got
it's
that
a-
slant cut.
Oh, it's got that slant.
Same
cuts
thing
it
from
off,
the
and it's so
first
cool. It's
Underworld
like
movie.
fire
It's
and
like a
guts,
slant
fire guts.
skull cut.
It's
And
awesome. That's
you're-
like the one part of the movie I'm like, that is cool.
And you're just sitting there watching this part of the movie, like, huh? That's what $20 million in 1995 looks like.
Yep, they
Yep.
spend the whole money on
Right-
the same,
right
pretty
there.
much. Yep.
Right there, and the rest of it's
Right
on
there.
Reptile, which we're getting to. Because
Getting
after
there.
this, like, I think that's when we get the Liu Kang Sub-Zero fight.
Yep. I mean, we should just skip there.
So Liu Kang is hooked up with Katana a couple times. She's a princess, and even though she's a princess,
Oh yeah,
she wants to hang out with Liu Kang,
Shang Tsung specifically wants to keep her away from Liu Kang, but
which makes her
then-
go to Liu Kang.
But then brings her up to fight Liu Kang. But I guess it's just like an exhibition sparring thing. Or
yeah, because she
something?
kind of takes it easy, and she uses the opportunity to give him information
like
of how to
cryptic
beat.
messages of how you would beat the
and
next
they're kind
boss
of
fight.
become like a thing, guy. They kind of become a thing, but
They're setting up a
pushing it.
love. They're setting up a well. They won't. They will. They will. They
It's
do.
pretty obviously they will.
They do.
And so, and they don't, and then you just see her through other parts of the movie. That's it.
She just kind of drops in every now and
With
then.
katana,
Like she's just
yeah.
like off in the background. Oh yeah, because in the process of all this, we totally skimmed over that sequence where like all the ninja assassin people drop in, and Johnny Cage is just like, guys, we got company. It's just like you got company.
He's the we got company
They're
guy.
ninja assassins. They're here to kill you before the tournament even starts.
Well, hey man,
We
sometimes
got company.
that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know what I'm saying? It's getting hot in here.
That's the way the combat crumbles.
Yeah.
And that's
Well, if you can't take the heat,
Get out of the.
no.
that's right, Asher. That's right.
I will call
Somebody's
them
gonna take a stand.
Cookie Crumble Company. The
Wasn't there
cookies.
a cookie company named Crumbles?
Is that who puts on this tournament every year?
Mortal Kombat, sponsored by Cookie Crumble. Yeah. Props to Mortal Kombat for never selling out to the man.
Yeah,
They've always they
good
never
for
had
them.
corporate
Oh, yeah,
sponsors.
they-
They've always done their
They've
own
always
thing.
been focused on interdimensional conquest. Staying focused
Who's
on that.
funding all of this?
All right. Order. The council must come to order. We've got to decide upon the Mortal Kombat budget for the fiscal year going forward. We've got several realms to think about, and we've got very limited amount of budget this year.
I say we raise taxes on all combatants.
Raise taxes?
taxes.
Ridiculous.
Madness, I
Raise
say.
taxes.
People are bleeding out the eye sockets, so we cannot do this.
What if we
like it when people bleed out the eye sockets?
What if we cut the number of henchmen and use that deficit to reinvest in our own combats?
How about we just make it 12 Mortal Kombats? That way it's more revenue, more advertising space.
I do love
More advertising space.
Far left would never
You know,
accept
I have
it.
somebody at the Crumble Cookie Company. Maybe they could sponsor us.
All right, I've got to call this bit to an end. I've got to bring this bit to an end.
And
It's far too
guys,
silly.
we have a lot of fights to get through. There are like some fights.
There are
Oh my
11
God.
more fights.
Sub-Zero and Liu
I-
Kang have to face off.
I think it was Asher who called this one being way too long.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
did. I knew it was coming.
Yeah,
I
but
was
knew it
like,
was gonna
there's too
happen.
much that can happen when you're talking about Mortal Kombat.
It's such an awful movie. So Liu Kang eventually fights Sub-Zero. Use the
and there's no explanation.
use the elements
People-
of life in your
I-
next battle.
I hate to like draw out this scene, but like people just lead him into a room, and literally a monk points at the floor and says, "Stand here." And Liu Kang's kind of like, "Okay, what the fuck?" What
I always do what monks tell me to
I'm
do.
just gonna stand here, I guess. And then up from the stairs, Sub-Zero comes down, and Liu Kang only kind of realizes
really
in the
cool
moment,
staging
"Oh shit,
light.
I'm in a fight.
Oh,
Let's
wait,
go,
wait.
Mortal Kombat, boom!"
Is this the first
Fight.
Is this the first fight where we get the music?
No, the music just happens.
Okay, but this is a fight where we definitely get the music
we definitely
right.
do get. Raiden,
Yeah.
Liu Kang.
But anyhow, he has a fight with Sub-Zero
Yeah, that's the one.
that is as long and ridiculous and drawn out as the one with Scorpion. And this brings me to another good point about this movie. So, like, everyone's about, like, this great fight of, like, martial arts skill. They're like, we will bring together the greatest fighters, and they will compete to find who is the greatest fighter. And you're like, okay, I'm down with that. That's cool. Like, we're gonna find out who
These
the greatest
three
fighters
humans.
are. But, it's like, but there's... But...
These three humans
No, but
will
like...
take on these
But
godlike beings.
It's not a martial arts competition because both Scorpion and Sub-Zero use fucking superpowers.
Yeah,
they're
dude.
like, yeah, we'll freeze your ass.
Goro is a four-armed monster person
Who's 9 feet tall.
who could easily crush like anybody who's a living person.
How much do you think Goro weighs? Like what? 350 pounds?
450?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
probably more what I'd
Like
say.
he's probably like everyone in this room combined who that's recording this.
Morpho will
podcast.
crush all of the tiny humans.
Including Ruka.
It says that's Goro. That's Goro talk.
Goro talks like Morbo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I am the prince of all these realms. You will be crushed.
You're Yeah, he kind of talks like him.
He does kind of talk like that.
does
He talks in
like that.
commands.
So after another subpar round of choreographed fighting, like Sub-Zero accepts defeat, and that's the thing that like happens with a lot of these fights. Is like the bad guy character accepts defeat, and then it's just like, okay, well I'm going to position myself right here and clearly do the thing that is my like finishing strategy. Like Scorpion takes off the mask and it's the skull that breathes fire. Sub-Zero positions himself and starts creating this big ball of like ice thing
magic
that,
stuff.
that like expands from like his hands, which to me seems like a much less effective way of doing the thing that he did earlier, where he was just like, I'm just gonna throw a ball of ice at you,
Or freeze you.
and that freezes you, and now you're just dead.
Instead of fighting you hand to hand for some reason.
Instead,
For
like a schmuck.
Like a schmuck.
but like if you can do this thing, it's like Lord Raiden not using like the lightning shit to let people know that he means business all of the time, because that's probably
Like, does
what
he have
should.
a quota of how many lightning bits he can do?
Yeah, does he have like a meter down at the bottom of the screen where
Yeah,
it's
like,
like
you can only use so
if you
many
do it
lightning
too
bolts?
much, the meter runs out. You got to let it refill.
I would believe this movie more if there was like a health meter at the bottom
But
of the screen the
why
whole
is
time.
Sub-Zero doing this thing that clearly takes so long and is so easily thwartable whenever he could just like throw ice? He did it earlier in the movie.
He froze a
The
dude.
movie logic doesn't make sense against its own movie logic.
He froze a dude who broke into pieces earlier.
And he was a much less formidable threat, and he used the much more immediate just why?
dealt with him.
Why so many things about
Well,
this
I just
movie?
want to say, Sam, I am just as shocked as you are that this movie does not hold up to the scrutiny we're giving it. Like,
No,
I expected it to fill out all its holes and gaps.
It's
thoroughly.
it's very vague, like it's very light scrutiny at that. It's just so many things. So many.
I am just shocked though how mere mortals defeated these bad guys that have superpowers and magic.
You know what it is?
And
Power of teamwork.
They never work together.
No.
well, they kind of do. They always fight one on one, but
and Sonya only has one fight. The Kano fight.
Yeah, dude. What's up with that?
I also want to. Okay, so like so he beats Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I want to just jump ahead because I want to get to Reptile when we talk about the fact that there is no teamwork fighting.
But that's after Goro.
yeah, damn it. I guess we got to talk about Goro.
We got to talk about Goro.
This is the Jason and the Argonauts. So the only reason Goro is scary is because the effects are so crude that I am terrified of the plastic face and eyes.
His face is
It's so
daunting.
creepy. It's so creepy.
It
the
I'm
way
gonna
that
see
he-
it in my nightmares.
It reminds me of the Total Recall Arnold Schwarzenegger head scene where he's pulling the thing out of his through his nose, and he's
it's
just like,
like-
moving.
It's like he's in a constant state of trying to do the robot, but he doesn't know how to do the robot.
I can't imagine a worse hell than not knowing how to do the robot.
Well, you
it's
had to
quite a
watch
hell.
Mortal Kombat pretty recently.
Oh yeah,
so.
that tops it. Yeah,
Yeah, there we go.
It's quite a hell. But so he emerges as like as a fighter now.
man's
He's
a
been in
fighter.
the shadows, and like he's in his throne, which has been specially designed
For 2 sets of
to have an extra set of armrests.
That's too funny.
for him to.
That is so dumb and funny.
It's such a stupid detail to care about when there are so many.
But like the production designer's like, no.
He's gotta have an extra
set
set.
of arm. This man is royalty.
We are gonna make this universe consistent.
That's gotta
in
make
this
sense.
moment.
I'm gonna yell about this and then get fired tomorrow, but it's already gonna be
Do you know
made
how
anyway.
ridiculous
so
it
we
would
go with
look if only the bottom set of hands was on armrests and the other set of hands just
No
had to
one
float
would take
there?
this movie seriously.
That would look preposterous. So he's got 2 sets of armrests, and Shang Tsung shows up and lets him know that it's time for him to start fighting. And he's like, finally, it is my time at last, or some kind of generic dialogue like that. I don't remember
We
what he
see him
says.
way too early too. I'm like, if you wanted this guy to be threatening, we should not have seen him until he was actually fighting someone. You get to see him a lot before he
Yeah,
fights someone.
that was-
No, well, this
and
was
he,
dumb.
and he
The movie-
becomes less scary.
The
Yeah, it
movie
does.
has to tease it to everybody who showed up for Mortal Kombat to say, hey, I know that you're here for Mortal Kombat. Well, here's some Goro for you. You know what I'm saying? It's coming up later. Just you know,
Well, the
I
guy
get what
fights,
you're saying.
and he fights.
Also, was that like
stay tuned,
Gary
baby.
Oldman's character from True Romance that you were just like channeling Justin.
Come on, man.
We got some Goro for you. Just hold on a second. It's pretty Goro for you.
Goro's on the way, baby. He's on the way. Just
No,
sit there
pretty.
patiently. He's going to you, baby. I'm telling you.
Guys,
right
we're
now.
never gonna finish this movie. We are just gonna.
Is that
this
Daybreak?
Gonna be,
Yeah.
This is the dark star of part of podcast.
What's weird about this fighting is I was hoping it would be like they would have some sort of like theory into how a man with 4 fists would fight.
Nope.
You figure it would be a lot of double punches, like doo doo, and
Nope.
just using the
It's
advantage.
really just a bunch of cheesy claymation like
yeah, it's a
awkwardness.
real bummer. If they make a new
the
Mortal
first
Kombat
sequence-
movie, they should really make him like a brawler and just like make every punch twice as hard. And
Like
that's-
really brutal. Well, it should have been a hard R rating, not a PG-13.
That would be
but
cool. Well-
but you know, I mean, it's a $20 million movie from the '90s. I mean, come on, we gotta get over that. But the first sequence that happens is like it's just a bunch of quick cuts where like it's just like you hear him go "Hurrah!" and then you hear like a bunch of generic like, and then you see somebody flip over and land on the ground. And you just like you see that a bunch of times.
I counted it. It was like 23 times. You see 23 bodies fall on the ground like thunk.
That's how
thunk,
many people Goro
thunk,
takes
thunk.
out.
Why are they even trying to fight him? They're not even our main protagonists.
And then we see like a scene where it's like presumably all of these fights happen in the same place, right? Like in the same
they
arena.
happen on the island of Mortal Kombat. That's what the movie gets its name from.
But it's like they get thrown down on like cobblestones or something like that. So it's like presumably that's like the arena that they're fighting on is like a little makeshift ring with just made out of cobblestones. And then we see a scene where just like the camera pans over and we see a guy warming up in a ring, like an actual ring with like ropes, like barricades. And then like it goes into the ring and we see who it is, and it's the guy from earlier when Johnny Cage was about to get on the boat. And Johnny Cage is just like, oh, hey, aren't you this guy who's like a famous fighter?
That's who fought him. Yeah, it was an actual fighter from the world.
Yeah, like aren't you just like a guy who fights for a living? Like you fight in tournaments and stuff? He's like, yeah, I'm that guy. Yeah, that's right. You're Johnny Cage, that action movie star, right? And they like have a nice little moment. And it's just like, oh, yeah, that's right. That is a guy who was in the movie like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Who's had no arc.
Where have
And
you
I
been
have-
for an hour?
and I
have so much to explain to you, and I still have more questions.
It's weird what
Have
the
you
movie
seen all
decides
this
to
stuff?
explain. That's
you-
not all I'm saying.
Have you seen the stuff that the other characters have seen? Because it's wild. Did you have like ninja assassins trying to take you out? Because that happened to these guys.
Also, did they have superpowers? Because, dude, I need a nap. This was exhausting.
Did you have to fight like a Scorpion or Sub-Zero type at any point? Did you have to fight any of those guys?
I just kind of walked in this
You just kinda
ring, and I've
showed
been
up?
here for days, and now they say I have to fight.
And so and then your first fight's against Goro. And
Yep.
my favorite part about this scene, whenever like he's fighting Goro, is like you have the characters like outside of the ring, like trying to cheer him on and give him tips.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's mainly Johnny Cage.
It's like, oh, come on, no, you gotta dodge it. You gotta dodge it. Come on, man.
You gotta dodge it.
You gotta
gotta
get
dip.
You gotta get back up.
You gotta
man.
dive.
You gotta get back up.
You gotta dodge.
He says two things
Dodge
in
a
particular.
Goro, you can dodge a ball.
He says two things in particular, and they're the most obvious things you can ever say. When he gets knocked down, he says the words "get up."
Wow, profound.
Exactly. And then when Goron, because he has 4 arms, grabs
Goro.
him.
Sir,
Oh,
Prince Goro,
God.
he is royalty.
Gorons
Respect.
are the race
Look,
from Zelda.
Respect,
I've been
sir.
playing a lot of just forget about it. Goro. It happens sometimes.
Well,
But
it's
Goro,
it's the same thing as earlier. Whenever like Sonya Blade was wrapped up by Kano, like it's just like that, but with Goro. But he doesn't have the foresight to think to kick him in the abdomen.
well, my point was that the advice being shouted at him was when he fell down, the advice was get up, and then when he was grabbed by Goro, the advice was
You
get
gotta
out.
Get out.
Like,
Well,
no
you can't get out until you get out
fucking
first.
way. I'm supposed to get out of his grip.
Maybe if it was Lakeith Stanfield telling him to get out.
Should have got out, man. He should have got out.
I hope you
Can't
have
get
a
over
great day. You smell great.
Oh,
Smells
yeah, it's great.
expensive.
I hope you have a fantastic fight.
I hope you're successful in everything you endeavor to do.
I hope this tournament goes really well for you.
Yeah, I hope it's great. I hope you are successful in every adversary you face.
I hope you win this year, and I hope you win next year, and I hope that your years are just filled with prosperity, man.
Oh, man, I really
rise up.
hope you get a sponsor at some point and really grow in your career.
Yeah, I got a sponsor. It's great. It's feeling good. How are you doing? Is it
All right,
good?
well, I'm going to go ahead and check that box. I'm going to check the check in the boxes bit box, and I'm going to go ahead and move on.
Oh, we haven't done a check in the box with bit box. That's a
Check in
good
the
one.
box. We check in the box.
Hey, we sang earlier.
We did.
We got it out of our system.
Subscribe to our Patreon and you'll. Anyway, so
Goro kills this man.
He just like whips up on him. It's just like Jim Carrey in The Mask, just like whoa, just like punch him in the face. And just that's just it. That's it. Kills him, lifts him up above his head. He's all ceremonial.
Offers him to
Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung, and who takes his soul,
Through his eyeballs.
through his eyeball.
And
And when
they're
it happens, you
constantly-
see the guy like waving his arms.
And they're constantly retconning the way that Shang Tsung takes souls. By the way,
Yeah, they're really just like, oh, how was you fire take your
Well,
soul?
that's how it kind of goes.
oh, are you doing the math? Well, fuck you. Stop doing that.
He takes souls however he takes souls.
Exactly. So Goro it offers him a soul. He takes it. No big deal. And then Johnny Cage is like, "Hey, I've got an idea. I'm gonna challenge Goro. Watch me do it." And the lady Sonya is like, "No, you shouldn't do that. That's fucking foolish. You shouldn't do that. It's crazy." And he's like, "No, I'm gonna do it because
I'm gonna do it to
I'm
impress
Johnny
you.
Cage."
Oh wait, is
and
this
I'm
the
crazy?
is this the scene where like I stood up and I was like, are they trying to force chemistry right about now between these two?
Probably. This is right about the time. Forced chemistry time.
Yeah,
I would
We're an
say.
hour
There's-
into the
there's an
movie. and they're
awful
like,
lot of forced
love
chemistry.
interest. Yeah,
There's an awful lot of that.
They're
I
trying
think
to
so.
force it between Liu Kang and Princess Katana too. They're trying to force some chemistry there because he's.
Oh
like,
yeah,
kinda
it just
chasing her.
happens. It's like he just shows up and Katana's just like, I've been waiting 10,000 years for that man to walk into my life.
And at some point, Liu Kang wants to chase after her, and Johnny Cage is like, "Don't do it. She's 10,000 years old. What's the deal?" And he's like, "It doesn't matter. I'm cool." And like he just goes off. Like,
age ain't nothing but a number, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Get down
saying,
on
baby.
that.
Come on, Lou, don't be silly. There's no way you're in the same headspace. She's way too mature for you, bro. Johnny Cage is gonna fight Goro, and Shang Tsung says, okay, preppy.
You go for it.
Yeah.
You crazy
Does he
boy.
fight him?
You do it. And so they do it. And Johnny Cage's entire plan, he shows up ready to fight Goro. This whole plan was to do the patented move of the splits and then the crotch punch and then run away.
His whole
And
plan.
Goro's just like, oh, son of a bitch.
And it's exactly like what happens in a video game. He has like a predetermined amount of time that he has to be like,
And then Johnny Cage runs away.
And
That
then,
was
like,
his plan.
And then,
Our hero.
And then Shang
Nut
Tsung like
punch and run
snaps
away.
him out of it, and he's just like, "Oh, of course, that's right. I must pursue my victim." Ha ha! And he goes after Johnny Cage.
Then who wins?
Well, he ends up
Wins.
tracking him
Dumb
down
question.
So
at the edge of a cliff.
Johnny Cage pulls a Fury
playing-
Road.
they're
No,
playing-
he pulls a Fury Road
got the
because he
high
runs
ground.
into a cliff and he's like, "Oh shit, there's a fucking cliff here. I was running away. Now there's a cliff. What should I do? I should improvise." So he climbs up on a rock and is like, "I hope my adversary is so fucking dumb that he doesn't. He walks out here and looks around for a long time before thinking."
and doesn't look up
Maybe
on
the
this.
guy is behind me. And that's exactly what happens. He walks out there and is like, "Oh, a cliff. Maybe he..."
Give up, Goro! I've got the high ground.
He pulls a Liu Kang like chest kick to the chest. Doesn't knock him off.
Just kick
hanging
to the
off the
chest.
side.
Just
A
kicks
chest
him
kick to the
slightly
chest.
back. Just kicks him slightly back.
He's hanging off the side of the cliff with one of his several hands. Any one of the other three hands could grab anything, but he's
But they
hanging
don't.
off.
And,
They don't.
and nothing dramatic happens. Johnny Cage just looks at
I
him.
disagree that nothing dramatic happens.
Yeah, I think we witnessed some
So Johnny
Shakespearean
Cage
dialogue
just
here.
looks at him and says, "This is the part where you fall down."
Which is
Because
from
he
the
said
first
it
part of the
earlier.
movie.
He said it earlier.
movie's
We
got-
said it earlier.
It's got
You could
layers.
put this
The
in
movie-
a college paper.
The movie calls back. The podcast calls back. We're all calling back.
Hold on, wait.
We're calling back to the callbacks.
Hello? Oh, beginning of the podcast? You're calling to let us know this scene happens again? Thank you. We're here right now. No, it's good. It's good. No, we're still
Hey,
sorry we
hey.
covered this movie.
Hey, tell me I said hi.
No one says anything. It's cool. It's cool.
what the
We're
hell,
good
man?
here. No. I
felt
tried to
like-
tell them to talk about the video game instead of the movie. They didn't listen, so now I'm in the middle of this awkward bit.
But they played Smash Brothers out there.
Hello? Oh, Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll tell him. All right. Yeah, sure. I'll tell him. Okay. Bye. Stop immediately. Like, so Johnny Cage knocks Goro off after delivering that line from earlier and getting through that god-awful bit. Just, oh my God. So Goro's off the cliff, and Shang Tsung has like changed Sonya into an awful dress.
Yeah, he kidnaps her and takes her to the other world where Johnny Cage and Liu Kang has to follow her, and Lord Raiden's not allowed to go because he's the defender of Earthrealm. Because plot device.
Exactly.
Hear ye, council.
Yep.
We can't have that going on.
We can't have like the cool character go to the place for the thing because these people have to do stuff.
But somehow it doesn't affect the human beings, so they like find a way to use the thing.
They kind of just stand in a weird hallway and some jelly comes from.
They end up like they were already like on a dystopian like island place, and now they're like in a dystopian like other realm place, and Reptile is still following them around, and
the Reptile, the worst CGI you've ever seen in 1995.
Yeah, it's like,
and then he embodies a corpse.
This is 5 years after Predator 2, and
it's messed up.
Look at that CG of
it
invisibility.
And so he's this bad lizard CGI thing following him around. Liu Kang finds him because he's camouflaged.
Grabs him against the wall,
throws him
conveniently into like a hollowed out body statue thing,
which
and
wraps him in like proteins and like
and then becomes
coming alive. And they have a fight.
A freaking warrior like Sub-Zero or Scorpion, Reptile, and then they fight.
And we hear that voice go, Reptile.
It's stupid. And it's just another dumb fight.
And they get through it. And by the way, Johnny Cage doesn't help at all.
He doesn't
help at all.
And it's the third-party city costume.
They just repainted the same one 3 times. We covered this. Like, we know that's what happened.
And then
that 10 million went into the Reptile special effects, and that's all. Like, that's what they did.
And they have a decently entertaining fight scene between the two of them. Like, it's entertaining to watch, but it's not a well put together fight scene.
And all that matters is Liu Kang beats Reptile and
Johnny Cash didn't help at all. Johnny Cage.
And nor Johnny Cash. Neither one
Johnny
helped
Cash
at all.
didn't help shit in this movie.
Didn't help at all.
The Earthrealm's going to hell, and what's Johnny Cash doing? Just writing songs about it.
There you go. And they chase him down. And then the bad guy is challenging Sonya, and he's like, "Hey, let's fight in Mortal Kombat."
We do get that great shot of just like all the bugs randomly spilling out of the corpse, which is
that was cool. And
because of
there's not just
evil,
bugs,
I guess.
Bugs and snakes. Because it's Reptile. It's exactly. It's like the Oogie Boogie.
Like what?
Yeah. Well, what's going on?
Like we don't have to shoot anything interesting here. We'll just have bugs falling out of the corpse.
And then they go at this weird planet Earth world outer rim place.
It's the final level. It's the last level. It's Bowser's castle. They're at Bowser's castle.
It's the big boss fight.
Yeah.
And they're in this like ceremonial place where there's all these monks, and Sonya Blade
is tied up
because she has gone from badass Sonya Blade to
that is
damsel.
Like how she is. She's not in Mortal Kombat 2 as a playable character, and like in some of the levels, like you see her tied up in the background, like she's held hostage.
That's the part that's continuity. That's the part.
I know, right?
The damsel in distress stereotype is the continuity part.
I know, right?
Wow, Mortal Kombat.
And also very stupid.
Yeah.
And speaking of stupid, like Shang Tsung summons like some ancient warriors or something like that.
Yeah, he gets these people to pop out of the ground.
From the ground, and
they're like, we've been here a while, just kind of waiting to fight somebody.
It's a good thing you showed up, Liu Kang. I need to shoehorn one more fight scene into this before we fight.
And this is where production is just throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks, because these characters don't make sense to what we've seen in a movie that doesn't make sense. Nor do the weapons. There's one dude who's just a samurai with a katana, and everyone else is like these different dudes for these different random weapons, and it makes no sense. But they're just like, well, Quota said we need a fight scene here, and we kind of killed everyone else off who he could fight. So let's just have this dumb fight before he fights Shang Tsung.
Well, do you just want to like introduce like Nightwolf or Cabal or Stryker or somebody like that? Well, no. Then we'd have to do some work and introduce the character. It wouldn't make any sense that they just showed up.
So we'll just have a bunch of random jack dudes with different various weapons.
One
or
of
no
them's a
weapons
samurai.
at all, fighting him, and they fights him. He beats them all, and then the other.
Well, that's going to be hard for him to get through all 4 of those guys and be able to make it to the main boss guy. That's
what
tough.
I said is like Chun Sik. What's the name of the
No,
bad
it takes
guy?
like
Shang
10
Tsung.
seconds.
Damn
That
it!
is a friend of ours.
And it takes him like 10 seconds to beat those 4 guys. And then he's on to Shang Tsung. But yeah, that's the thing is like Shang Tsung is like at first he's addressing. No, well at first like they're all down on like the carved stone Mortal Kombat symbol.
A bunch of monks.
And they're
like,
about
hanging
to
around.
they're about to do the thing, the ceremony, whatever. I don't know what Shang
Which is
Tsung's
not the-
plan is.
there
No
was
one
no-
knows what Shang Tsung's plan
No.
is. But whatever it is, they're about to do it, and then like all of a sudden, like 3 of them just unmask their robes, and it's like, haha, it's us, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Katana.
We came to save you.
We work together
ambushed
now.
you.
And then
Teamwork.
and then they have the fight
Teamwork,
where the guys
guys,
pop
I'm
out of the
telling you.
ground that you were talking about.
Teamwork.
And that's
Yeah.
the part I was talking about. Is that Shang Tsung's plan was his whole backup plan was other dudes. Like he was like, "Hey, I have this secret weapon.
Yeah.
You're never gonna believe it. It's 8 other dudes in this room." And then they come out, and Liu Kang just beats them all. And he's like, "Oh shit, that was my fucking plan."
It's like Winter
It was the
Soldier,
other dudes.
or no, it's like Civil War without the twist.
So then they're like just facing off against each other, doing some Mortal
he goes
Kombat.
upstairs.
Yeah, of course.
He goes upstairs to the platform.
And Liu Kang has to run up there, and they made the unfortunate editing decision to show
showing
that
him.
run up the stairs.
Oh my god!
He has to-
I forgot about this.
He has to run up the stairs to meet Shang Tsung. And then in the next cut, when they cut it from like he gets up to the top of the stairs and they cut it to he's facing Shang Tsung now has his back to him because it's more dramatic.
Well, it took so long for him to run up the stairs. He's like, you know what? This would be more dramatic. If
It's
I
like,
turn
I don't
around.
know. I don't know if I should turn around or not.
Hey, why don't you turn around?
I'm going to turn around.
Turn around. I haven't turned around yet.
You fool, your soul is mine. You shall die.
And then they
pretty good.
fight, and
Is it special?
And Shang Tsung is beating the crap out of Liu Kang.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
He's
old
beating the
dude
crap.
is in shape.
And then
What's
we
his
find
name?
out.
Hiroyuki Tagawa.
Yeah, I've seen
I
a lot of
butchered
90s
that
stuff.
pronunciation, but yeah, that guy,
I've seen a lot.
that old guy was in good shape.
He's in a lot of stuff for the
But
time. I remember.
then we find out, and then the movie changes. It's like all of a sudden become like Matrix. Liu Kang realizes like I am the chosen one, and
That
then,
he's
like,
Neo.
that he's Asian Neo or fully Asian.
I think
Neo.
Liu Kang finds out that Mortal Kombat was inside of him all along.
Had anybody ever said the words "chosen one" to him at any point in time in the movie? Anyone?
It was more like selected fellow than chosen one,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of got the vibe. He got what they were picking up.
He knows what he was getting
shoehorning
into.
in the chosen one element of video games.
But
I get it,
when that
whatever.
happened, then he started getting his magic or like superpowers. And it's like you saved this for now.
The
And
ability to stop bullets.
all the while, the Mortal Kombat sign down on the bottom where he ran up from started growing spikes.
Like the game.
And
Gosh, damn it,
Fatality.
guys.
Finish him.
It's only like
No, he whoops
make this
up.
point
He
later.
whoops up on Shang Tsung after that. Like
Yeah.
he
he
gets the better of him very
And he
easily.
tries to give him mercy. He's like, "Hey, it's over. You shouldn't fight anymore." And the guy's like, "No,
Release the souls within you. They have risen up against you. I am a generic hero type.
But
He's like, no, they are mine forever. And
then he does his finishing move.
yep.
which
And,
is a lot of button presses, and I don't think they
well, it's like
actually
it's
got
like
them.
Do you remember the sequence at all?
Yeah,
Of how to
no.
get that special move. Okay.
No, it's very
long
tough to
story.
do.
Long story short, this movie is a button masher. But he does his like jet kick thing, and that's what like ejects Shang Tsung off of the platform and onto the spikes.
Because he's a sorcerer doesn't mean that spikes don't hurt.
And then you see like the Independence Day beam from the sky thing happen, and all the souls get set free. And then he has the big magical moment where his brother approaches him and says, "Liu Kang, I forgive you for letting me die." And it's just like, it was your fault. It was your fault, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He was just like,
maybe I shouldn't have
Well,
felt
he
that
straight up in
dude.
a very nice way. He's just like, well, every man's responsible for his own destiny. So I no longer feel guilt about you dying, which is a very polite way of saying
You're a
that shit's
dumbass.
your fault.
And he's like, well, even though we cannot be reunited now, we will be reunited someday. And it's just like, I mean, hey, that's all cool and everything, bro. But even if you were still alive, I'd want you to live your own life.
Quit trying to, harsh on my thing.
You're being kind of a barnacle right now, bro.
Yeah.
Article.
So he lets his brother go into the spirit world, freakiness, and then they come out of that and they meet up with Raiden, who's of course waiting in a field, probably.
Yeah, with
Well, they
tasers.
got to meet up with their comic relief because that's
Yeah.
the thing. Lord Raiden is the comic relief of
Besides
the
like,
movie.
hey,
Besides the movie itself,
I feel like Lord Raiden is Professor Dumbledore or like Solomon. Yeah, Solomon mixed with like the dude, mixed with Lucky Charms.
Oh my God.
He's like this.
Let's throw a little bit of Tupac in there, just pepper it in. He is everything
And
to
you know what?
everybody.
I'm gonna say it. Shades of Andy Kaufman. Shades of him. In the face of Annihilation, he's making jokes.
You guys-
Shades of Andy Kaufman.
you guys are making a weird character smoothie that I'm having a hard time following.
But anyways, I feel like Shang Tsung and Lord Raiden are both like some kind of like a good imp and a bad imp. They're like kind of troublemakers. In
Little
both
yin
of them.
yang, kind of
'Cause
opposite of each.
They push the
like-
mortals.
it's like
to
the
do
yin
what
and the
they
ego.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they make the mortals like their chess pieces.
We are reading way
at
too
the,
much into this
So at the end of
movie.
the movie, tons of random children
it pans
show up.
over. It pans
Tons of
over.
random children
They're
show up.
automatically
Well, they're at the
back at the
temple
temple.
now.
They're back at the temple from earlier.
But it's not a shock because this movie has been nothing but cuts to different locations, no idea how we got there, and subtitles just explaining where we are, and now we're moving on. So
And so-
whatever.
and everyone's coupled up.
Oh yeah. Now Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage are a thing, and Liu Kang and Kitana are a thing. I
Because,
guess.
And they
yeah.
go back to meet
And
like
Lord Raiden has like his arms around both like different couples, and he's just like, "You guys are so unpredictable." Ha ha. And then Shao Kahn shows up.
Yeah. But then the emperor shows up and he's like, "Who? I've come for your souls. Bow
before me."
Bow before me." And they're all like, "Oh, here we go again. Mortal
You
Kombat."
thought the last bad guy was generic. You haven't heard nothing yet.
And when they see it, they all strike a pose exactly the same.
Yeah, like a Power
fighting
Rangers
stance.
pose.
Freeze.
It's like a Power Rangers pose.
Credits. It's just not
Mortal
fair.
Kombat. And that's the goddamn movie, you guys.
And that's all I can say about it.
That's the goddamn
Sing
movie.
it
I will
all
say
of
this:
me.
I feel like the loyalty it has, or the thing they're concerned about, from what I can gather, from what you guys remember from back then, as opposed to I don't know movie logic.
I saw
is
it no fewer than 3 times in theaters whenever I was a kid, and I owned the VHS tape, and I wore that shit out.
See, once or twice.
I was a child.
Yeah,
Mind you.
yeah. This movie has loyalty to the game.
To a degree,
To a degree.
the characters look like how they're supposed to look.
Yeah, I mean not exactly, but
Some
what
of- some of
loyalty it
them-
has is to the game
I would say it has bizarre loyalty to the game.
because it still picks
Yeah,
and
it's
chooses.
like this is the
It-
thing
it
that you said it earlier.
It
like,
chooses very particular things to be loyal to and then just glosses over other giant sections that it never explains.
Like you could, I mean, like if you wanted to make a good Mortal Kombat movie, and this would be a whole other podcast that we could talk for 2 hours on, just because Jesus
yeah.
Christ, we talked for 2 hours about this. Like, I mean, you can make a whole movie just about like the Sub-Zero clan, like and the feud with Scorpion. Like you can make a movie just out of that conflict.
If
That
you were
sounds pretty
taking
cool,
it
too.
seriously.
That'd be a badass
yeah, if
movie.
you're taking it seriously.
But for now, we just say, finish him.
Flawless victory. Your soul is mine. I don't think so. Somebody stop me, please. God damn it, you guys. God damn it.
I'll have what she's having. Did I
God
do it? Did I
damn
do
it,
it right?
you guys.
Did I do it right?
All right, so yeah, I mean, mashing buttons a lot like this movie mashes all the buttons. Just hoping to find a combo in there and just
Sometimes pulls it off. Sometimes gets a few combos
getting us to
from
the
time to
end.
times. But it's not strategic, and it doesn't have a great control over its moves.
Yeah, it's like some of the more recent Mortal Kombat games that come out. They have like the test your luck mode where you just you set however many different kinds of stipulations you want on your game, and sometimes they can just get ridiculous, like no time limit. Like everybody takes very little damage, and like all of the weapons and everything are gonna be involved, and just shit gets out of hand so fast. And well, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like that happens just again and again and again.
Makes sense. It feels
And
like
again and again.
I can't imagine.
Oh no, not in the movie. Well, yeah, in the movie, but I mean in this podcast.
I can't imagine watching someone play Mortal Kombat for 2 hours. So I feel like the movie is more relatable in that sense.
I mean, relatable is a word for it. There's the movie as it is when we were kids, and there's the movie as it is now. I think it's safe to say that I never want to have to talk about the movie Mortal Kombat ever again.
I say we address the council one more time and make sure that motion happens. And we'll let you guys
We're
know.
going to be talking about Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's even more convoluted than the first one, so I say no. No, the nays have it.
That's the
So,
council has spoken.
We're done. But what do you guys think about this? Do you want to talk about Mortal Kombat? You guys feel free to, because we're done with this shit. My name is Sam.
I'm Chad.
I'm Asher.
And I'm Grace.
And thank you so much for listening. We're going to catch you next time.
What's up, crew? If you got any idea of what you would like for us to talk about on The Minute or on Movie Night Autopsy podcast, hit us up on the social medias. You can hit us up on Twitter at movie_autopsy. Check us out on Facebook at Movie Night Autopsy. Always feel free to email us, contact@movienightautopsy.com.